morning! I hope everyone is having a good morning. Welcome on in. We're going to be doing more Celeste today. I'm also still using VTuber. So we're getting our money's worth with this one, using it every day. Welcome on in. I hope everyone's doing good. I haven't really done a lot, I'll be honest, between streams today. Yesterday I wasn't feeling very well, but we did do a collab stream, kind of. I was streaming it, and I think Hut and Sunkoi both decided that, well, it just probably wasn't worth it this time, just because either their technology was overheating or this, that, the other. But Ottilie did stream it, and it had all four of us on there, and it was really, really fun. We were talking about some cosplays and how we would approach them. Yeah, it was good. It was a really nice time. I don't know if many people managed to catch it because it is a lot later than at least my normal stream time, but I hope if you did that you really enjoyed it, because I had a good time. I was the special guest today. Or yesterday. I was a special guest yesterday. It was really, really fun. I hope everyone else had a good time too. For those who weren't there, basically, I'm sure Ottilie has the VOD on their channel, but basically they had myself, who is predominantly like a seamstress. I do a lot more embroidery, beading, handwork, that kind of stuff. Sunkoi, who does a lot of very, very interesting bead, they do beadwork now, but like more sewing work. They do a lot of pattern stuff, as well as more SFX stuff, like making their own resin things. And what was it? They had all like these, I can't remember what they're called, prosthetics? Yeah, prosthetics. Yes. So they had Sunkoi with all of that knowledge. You had Hut, who is of course an armor smith, very much a traditional blacksmith style armor smith, and they brought that knowledge to it. And then it had Ottilie, who does more larger than life. I would say like, generally I'd just put them in the larger than life category, because everything they make makes you like a little bit bigger than you normally would be. And they have, of course, quite a lot of technical experience as well. Also, Anime, welcome on in. Hi, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Mrs. Anime, catch the four peoples. Welcome. I hope you're doing good. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think the VOD should still be on Ottilie's channel for a little while, because they're a partner, so the VODs stay around a lot longer. But it was fun. Obviously, we did have a few technical hiccups, but I feel like with that kind of stream, you're always expecting technical hiccups. That just comes with streaming. Oh dear, it was good. I presented the costume that I had. There's like I have a whole folder of costumes that I want to make, which I either don't have the skills for, or the money for, or the time for. I have all of those. So I presented one of the many cosplays I'd like to tackle one day, and honestly, it was really nice to get other people's perspective on how they would tackle bits of it, because the costume that I presented is currently quite far out of my skill range. Just based on it includes a lot of things that I'm not very good at or I haven't tried before, so I wanted to present that one because then I get the experience of 3 other very talented crafters. You saw it was a fun stream. I'm glad I had fun as well. Hell yeah. I should say as well, I was the special guest this week, but I think Hut, Sunkoi, and Ottilie are considering doing more with maybe some other people in the future. So yeah, even though that would be the only time that I'll appear on there, probably, at least for a while. Yeah, it should be that you might be able to go over there and watch other people appear on there. Yes. And talk about costumes that they want to make and stuff, and have more people approach it and be like, well, I would do it like this. So yeah, it was really, really fun. I had a really, really good time, and hopefully it made up for me not streaming yesterday. I was just not very well, and I was like, I got all prepared to stream, and I was like, no. Like, even to the point of changing my title and everything. It happens. We have those days. Yesterday was one of those days. I am feeling a lot better today. We'll probably be taking it a bit slow, but then we'll probably taking it a bit slow for a while, and that's okay. That's okay. That being said, I say we're going to be taking it slow. Next week, we still have a pretty big event happening. It's been really cool as well. This is more like private stuff, and I won't mention the other streamers, but like I have had other streamers reach out and ask like, hey, we're doing a similar event if you want to take part. But then the thing that has happened is like I'm raising money for Mermaids. Mermaids is a UK charity, and they are the ones, they are the ones that like I guess, affect me and like affect trans and non-binary people that I know and like where I live, right? So like that's the one that I chose to raise money for. Whereas obviously for a lot of American streamers, they'll pick American charities because that is, you know, again, it's the charities that affect what happens where they live. So yeah, unfortunately, I still will be doing it as an individual, but it's nice to know other people have had the same kind of idea and are streaming for those kind of charities in February. Yeah. So it's nice to see. I'm really glad. And it's got me in contact with some other streamers as well, which has been nice. I'm quite shy when it comes to reaching out to people. So yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice to have a chat with some other people who are maybe not doing the same thing. As far as I'm aware, I haven't met any other people deciding to speedrun an entirely new game, but like they are all raising money for charity, so it's good. Also, Gav, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Do you guys want to see how far we got last time? I did do a teeny tiny bit of work in the background. Sorry, I'm just rolling my sleeves up. A teeny tiny bit of work in the background after last stream, but I'll be honest, not very much this time. There's not too much to go over. But this is how far we got last time. So I added some of the purple beads around the bottom. There's kind of like an ombre thing where it goes from the blues to the purple. So I added all the purple in, so I didn't have to worry about it later. I did start the second arm. I didn't finish it. I think that's all I did. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I wasn't feeling that hot, so I just didn't do quite so much because I didn't want to. Oh wait, my ducks are paused. No. Resume duck. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I didn't want to do too much. And honestly, I like doing the beading on stream. Doing that, and I had no power for 10 hours. Oh my god, that's quite a while, Gav. Jesus, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that it stays up now. It's free. Yeah, that was immediately what my mind went to. Is like, Jesus, like we're not having to heat the house that much, but for 10 hours, like yeah, we'd need to heat it. That's cold. I hope that doesn't happen again. Jesus. Resume ducking. Yeah, we geez, that's a long time. I complain when it happens for like an hour. Oh dear, yeah. Comparatively to last time, I just filled in a few more beads. I did the purple beads around the bottom. I haven't really done anything else. I very minimal work this time. Yeah, just been a bit either busy or sick. Is what it is. Again, we're probably going to be going kind of slow today. I don't know how long I'll be able to go for, but we'll get there. Oh dear. How I got down to 58. Not hobble, but brrr. Very house, how same thing. You're all good. Very cold. Very hecking cold. It's been a little warmer here, thankfully. It's still like it's chill in the air, but it's not as bad as it was. We're not having to heat the house as much either, which is nice. Just keep it nice and cheap. Give me a house I never have to heat. All right, I'm gonna just crack on, to be honest, because again, I don't know how long I'll be able to go for. So I want to get as much work done as possible while I am here. I want to try and get all of the blue done. We did a pretty good chunk last time. It doesn't look like that much, but it takes a lot longer than you'd think to fill it all in. So I'd like to finish the blue today. That's today's goal. Nice beadbud, thank you! She ends up really sparkly and shiny. Like, look at all that shine. Just catches the light. Oh dear. I love beads. I love beads, I love sparkle, I like anything shiny. Makes me very, very happy. It does make this quite a weighty project. all of the beads make this quite heavy, but that's okay. It's for the wall. It's not meant for like a tree or anything, so I think it's okay. Whoop, there we go. Look at that there. Shiny! Yeah. She's got sequins for eyes as well, so those are even also very shiny. And then eventually I'm going to be adding sequins all up her legs, so that'll be very shiny as well. She's gonna end up being incredibly shiny, but that's what I like. That's what I do to everything. I just add more sparkle. Hell yeah. Shiny squirrel! Oh my god. Wait, what was that? That's Up, right? Is that an Up reference? Oh dear. It's been a while since I watched Up. I can't actually imagine watching Up again anytime soon as well, because even though like the majority of the film is not sad, that goddamn like 5-minute opening clip is so goddamn sad. You gotta like prepare yourself to watch it every time. I mean, I guess it's because it's good, but yeah, no, I can't be doing that all the time. All right, let's grab some teeny tiny beads. Another teeny tiny one, please. Give me. Goddamn, these see-through beads. There we go. Give me teeny tiny see-through bead, thank you. There we are. And scoot that in there. Okay. Nice. Oh dear, Ramen, welcome on in. You got stacks and smooth jazz and raise noises. Oh my god, the holy trinity. How the heck did you manage to get all three? Oh dear. First time I saw up, I missed it. You missed it for, oh. Honestly though, yeah, it gets me every time. You have to be in a mindset to watch that, I feel like. Otherwise it hits way too hard. Oh dear. It's a very good movie, of course, but Hello, Techno, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. The bead's looking good, thank you. She's getting very, very shiny. Look at those sparkles. She catches the light more and more. I love adding this kind of stuff. I hope you're doing good. Welcome on in. I hope your week's been good so far. Gonna be lurking. Oh, you just speed run? Hell yeah, good luck. I hope you get a new PB. There we go. Normally I have much better bladder control, but that one time. I'm assuming at this point you've gone back and watched it though. Like, you are aware of the intro scene to Up at this point. Oh. It's very sad. It's very realistically sad. That's kind of what makes it worse, is like, yeah, that kind of stuff does happen. It's very sad. Oh, do you well? Thanks. I'm glad to hear it. Heck yeah. Sparkles. Lots of sparkles. There we go. And a few extra beads in there. Yeah, you've watched it since. Yeah, I feel like you owe it to yourself to see it, because I think when people talk about Up, it's the only scene we really ever talk about. It's like that first opening scene. It really did steal the movie. Oh dear. There we go. And I think go for a slightly... There's two like of the blue crystal-y ones in here, but one of them's quite a bit darker than the other. They're both kind of see-through, so even though one is darker than the other, like, I guess it doesn't look super different, but I'm trying to stagger them, so I'm using some of the darker ones and some of the lighter ones. Even though it's the same bead. Oh dear. I was able to stream it. Oh really? But the issue now is my PC games are being poopy heads that are rolling out and making my stream crash. Yeah, so some games are a lot more CPU heavy than others. That's one thing like I got very used to when I was designing VTubers for other streamers, because VTubers tank your CPU. They just do. And quite a few people do not have a PC to run game streaming and a VTuber. Like it's quite an intense ask of a PC. So yeah, like building them with less physics, less layers and stuff like that, so that they tank less. Some games are not optimized. What is it? A game just came out. What is it called? Forspoken or something like that? You need like... Oh heck! Shifty, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Thank you so much for the hacking 29 months. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was just gonna talk about, there's a game that's just come out called Forspoken. I think you need a 3080 to run it. Like, what? A 3080 just to run the goddamn game? The heck is that? It is Forspoken, yeah. Also, Taki, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to more beading. Oh dear. Yeah, honestly, when we saw that, because like, I saw it come up, I think it was on the Steam page, and I was like, oh yeah, I've heard a couple people talking about this. Let me have a look what it is. Let me see what this, and then Shiny was like, let me have a look at what the specification is for this. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can see if, if both of us can play it kind of thing. No. Jesus. Oh my god. Why do you need a 38? God. Complain. Oh dear. Jason, welcome on in. When I was doing that game, I don't think that I am streaming that game. My PC can handle it, I think. Maybe just about. What do I have? I have a 3070. I think I could run it at like a lower quality. But that'd be it. Oh, so thank you for the party. We like to 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 party. The Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco, an interstate free disco. The wheels are still are turning and traffic lights are burning. So if you like to party, come on and move your body. Thank you for the party, Gav. Can't stick around. Oh no, you're fine. Oh, I've got a headache now from all the travel. Oh, bless you. I hope you feel better soon. Take care of yourself. Oh, there's a heck of a lot of damage. Thank you for the flex tape. And they came out with a 40. Oh, they're being so for the God. I can't keep up. I thought I was doing pretty well with my PC, to be honest. It turns out I needed to be smacked back down to earth. I'm behind. I'm in Mid Wales. I was going up and down so many hills. I forgot. Oh, no. Oh, but have fun in Mid Wales, though. Hell yeah. I hope you have good weather. Oh, they'd be crying with a 50. But this is the thing, is like, surely if you say that you need like a 3080 to run the game, like, you're just limiting the market of people that are going to play it. Maybe, I mean, what do I know though, really? I am but a slime streamer. I know very little. It just seems a bit odd. There's a small odd. 1050, so I might need to upgrade it soon. But I understand, obviously, like, graphic cards are going to get better and better and all that kind of stuff. They're going to get better, and you're going to need better ones to run the newer games. But I also feel like you're not optimizing your game, really, if you need a 3080 to run it. Like, I think something else is going on there. Oh, dear. There we go. And let's get another. Let's see. This one. The darker one. Oh, dear. Thank you for the luck. Oh, dear. People, as you have a 3080, bought a big old game PC, it's a heckin' beast. Hell yeah. Well, listen, you are one of the lucky ones who can play Forspoken. You know, Finland developed an exotic spot. It's called, and it translates to wife carry. I have actually heard of that. It's been what did I hear? I heard about it, and there was a book that had it in it. It's been a hot minute, but yeah. Oh dear. Every game should come with the option to play it in 16-bit. True. There you go. That's the real solution we needed. Like, we need that. When are they going to bring that in, huh? And also, Jason, you should be claiming copyright on that idea so that nobody can steal it. Oh dear. Also, Brain, welcome on in. It's Sunclay. Good morning. It was lovely doing the cosplay collab podcast style thing with you yesterday. Really fun. Oh dear. We're back to bead in here. Oh, Scott, thank you for the egg. Copyrighted. Good. Yeah, make sure you get a good idea, you copyright that. That's yours now. No one else can have that idea. That's your idea. Oh dear. Wait, no, you took Jason's? No! Jason, you have to be quicker. Oh dear. No, I hope you're having a good morning. And Scott, thank you for the egg smash. We are back to beading again. This lady still needs quite a few beads, but we're getting there. She's getting more and more sparkly. Oh dear. Can never have too many beads. Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. I do have quite a lot. Can I show you something really quick? I don't know if it's going to show up on cameras by anything. So I bought a box from Wilco to put all of the beads and sequins for the next project in, because like I was worried they were all going to like go missing, and the box isn't big enough. Look, oh god, that's my mic, sorry. I gave you a big whack there. Look at all of my pots of beads and sequins. like the spares that aren't in the pot right now. And then I got some of them out over here right now. And then I got all the black and the white ones that aren't even in this box. This is just the colors. I vastly underestimated how much space I was going to need for all of these. It's okay, I could use the box for something else in the future, I'm sure. But it's way too small. I fit like half the stuff in I need to. Oh, it's gonna be Davies. Oh, hell yeah! Congratulations. Wait, oh, there it is. Shoot, I lost my embroidery for a second then. Congratulations. Moves fall apart. Just no, Jason, that's chaos. I can't handle that. They have to be separated so that I know exactly which bead is in each pot. And I do this all the time. I have to. It's important to me. They must all be separated. Can't have them mixed. Ew. You know, when I get a bag of mixed beads, I separate them by hand. Can't have them all mixed together. The only time I make a mix is when it's like this, when I'm going to be using them all together. Oh dear. Oh, Brains, thank you for the luck. Take care of yourself. Maybe get some good snacks. I know it's quite late for you though. Why not too many? That's not too many beads. That's not enough box. True. Actually, you're right. My mindset's just that. Yeah, I've got the wrong mindset here. And Taz, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. What's this about chaos? I have far too many beads and sequins for the next project. I'm just so excited to start it. There is something that I want to do, which I'm going to do one part of the costume off stream. I'm going to do that on purpose. And then I'm going to have to keep it secret for like a whole year and a half. I don't fancy my chances, but I want at least, because last time I did the costume on stream, you guys saw every single part of it, right? And so nothing was a secret, it was all done. I would like to have a little secret next time, so that when it comes out on stage, you get to see at least something for the first time. I want to start that bit so bad, but I can't start it yet. I've just been like drawing designs. Ah, dear, gotta keep them separated. Yeah, like the song. This last time I did, thank you. Yeah, so I've made all the bases out of felt first, and then I've been slowly going over top of them in embroidery and beads, and eventually it'll also be sequins as well. And we've been building it up. And this is actually going to be a prize for an event we're doing next week. So next week we are doing a big speedrunning event where we're going to be speedrunning the game Celeste. We're going to be practicing from Monday to Saturday, getting as much practice in as possible. And then on the last day, on Sunday, we're going to be doing our first official Celeste speedrun. And then that's when the competition starts. So that if anybody beats the time that I set on that Sunday, they'll win this. It's going to end up, I'm going to be making it like it's a wall hanging, I should say. So it won't just be like a random piece. It will be like a fully functioning wall hanging once it's done. But yeah, you can win this. I know a couple of people are already entering, and we have a few people on the fence. And we'll be doing all of this in aid of Mermaids, the charity Mermaids. So we'll be raising money and stuff while doing the speedrun stuff. So it'll be a big event, which means we'll have lots of challenges. We'll probably have some silly streams. There is one thing I need to get finished before, which I'm working on, but other than that, we're pretty much ready. I need to finish this as well. Oh dear. The secret is hidden pockets. Honestly though, that should be a feature. A feature is hidden pockets. Hidden pockets are so important. We all love a good pocket. Dear, guys, gonna get iron recovery. Oh, bless you. Look after yourself. Have a good rest of your day. Take care. Thank you for the luck. Oh dear. But yeah, I'm very excited for next week. It's going to be really, really fun. And looking forward to giving it a go. I've still never played Celeste. Maybe I should practice it at least once before we start trying to speedrun it. Like, maybe I should play the game. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is, with this one, not to necessarily be, like, the best speedrunner in the world. It's to get other people to give it a go. And instead of maybe buying the Hogwarts game, buy Celeste instead. Listen, I'm not sponsored, but I really think you should buy Celeste instead. If you buy Celeste and you beat my speedrun time, you could win a big prize. If you're speedrunning alongside me, I'm going to be having like an open chat the whole week so that anyone who is the speedrunners, so they can join chat at any time, so that we can do like practice streams together and stuff like that. So yes. Oh dear. oh, this isn't my usual name, but I kind of want it. Dang. Listen, you can give it a go. You're welcome to try it. I know a couple other people are trying, but it's a very much a beginner's competition. Like, not a single person who is entering has ever speedrun Celeste before. So you would be starting out at the same level as everyone else. We're all noobs. And that's the point. The point is it's a beginner's competition, open to anyone. Everything can be improved by hidden pockets. True. Right? True. Hidden pockets are the way. My last costume, it had like one hidden pocket, but I couldn't really reach it, unfortunately, once I was wearing the entire costume. This costume's gonna be different. I'm gonna have so many hidden pockets. And again, thank you for the lurk. Take care of yourself. Ah, dear. Oh, but yeah, I'm so excited to start it. It's gonna be so fun. Speedrunning with everyone and giving it a go. Hell yeah, and hopefully raising lots of money and awareness for mermaids, because mermaids is really, like, listen, mermaids has been fighting the hard fight. They are literally fighting J.K. Rowling in court. They are fighting the LGB Alliance, which is a hate group in the UK, in court. They are fighting the big fight over here in the UK. If you really don't like J.K. Rowling, they are an excellent charity to support right now, because yeah, they are. It's like I want to say so badly, but like I can't because it's. God. Oh, it's like Tab, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Ah, dear. Yeah, if you really dislike J.K. Rowling, I would highly recommend going and checking out the Mermaids charity. They're working really hard. Really hard. You could make a historical pocket. Yes. That sounds like a hacking plan. Historical pockets. They're pockets with history. I'm gonna get some more thread because my thread's getting a bit short. But then for the gap in my shorts, I'll have a use for them. That's true. Yeah, as soon as I saw when you were talking about it, this was like a couple weeks ago now. As soon as you were talking about it, I was like, I recognize that. I've watched enough anime to recognize that. Like, it's like that traditional archery get-up where, like, I know it's weird, but it's definitely weird because, like, it's based on, isn't it based on Germany, Mondstadt, or something like that? But, like, the way that those shorts are like almost exactly the same as like more Asian traditional archery outfits. Like when people go to archery competitions and stuff like that. Like yeah. But I guess with games like that, you kind of do get a mixture of cultures because obviously, I believe the game's Chinese. It takes a lot of influence from anime, which is Japanese, and then it has towns based in Europe, which is then European. So it really is a bit of a muddle of culture, but in like a good way. It creates some really beautiful designs. All right, I'm gonna drink some tea. Oh, they have so many snacks. Yeah, they're gonna be the snack cosplayer. Oh dear. All right, sip. Ah, that's nice. I got more biscuit tea again, so I can have biscuit tea. I honestly missed it. I also got the, so Yorkshire tea does like a jam and toast tea, and I'll be honest, I was not a fan. I was so much not a fan that I took one sip and didn't drink the rest of my cup, which is not normal for me. I'll normally finish a cup of tea even if I don't like it that much, but the smell of it, and it gave me like shivers, like being in the same room as this cup of tea. I very rarely have such a visceral reaction to like food, but the biscuit tea from Yorkshire tea is so good. Like it's so good. It is like literally my favourite cuppa is Yorkshire biscuit tea. And by like a long way at this point. Like I love it. I think the value plus the really good taste, it's so good. And like it's easy, it's very accessible, right? Because am I peeking a lot? I'm so sorry. Am I like screaming into my mic? I can move you guys a bit further away. Maybe if I'm not quite so close to my mic. There you go. Sorry, I'm at a distance now. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the value and how accessible it is because they do it in tea bags, and you know, it's just fantastic. I love it so much, and it's really good tea. But then the jam and toast one, I don't get it. I didn't get it when I bought it, to be honest, because like, you don't dunk your jam and toast in your tea. Or at least I don't think you do. I've never dunked my jam and toast in my tea. I feel like that's like a recipe for just having like crumbs everywhere and like in your liquid and then getting soggy crumbs in your tea. So like I don't dunk toast in my tea, and like the idea of biscuit tea is it you know tastes like your tea after you've dunked a few biscuits in it, right? Which is like, that's very pleasant. I like that. Why would I want my tea after I've dunked my soggy toast in it? Like, who wants that? And I tried it, and no, I didn't like it. Maybe I came into it a bit biased because I thought it was weird, but like, yeah, no, not keen. I've got a whole box of it now that I'm not going to want to eat. But carrot cake, oh, carrot cake tea, that sounds tough, honestly. Not to my taste, it was too nutty, but it smelled nice. There are a lot of teas that like definitely smell better than they taste. I am a big fan of the Yorkshire biscuit tea. It's a little expensive because you can only really get it in smaller ones, but yeah. They also do a jam and toast, and yeah, I don't understand it. Like, who dunks... Okay, if there's anyone in chat who dunks their jam on toast in their tea, like, please speak now. I need to know what part of the UK you're from, or like, I guess anywhere that you're... I need to know, because as far as I'm aware, that's not a thing we do. Like, I don't think that's just me. I don't think you dunk your toast in tea. Like, that's something you do if you're like trying to like speed eat. If you're like a competitive eater, then yeah, sure, you probably dunk your toast in your tea to like soften it. But like, only in that situation, surely, would you ever consider doing that? Because you're ruining both elements of your like meal. It's like you're ruining your tea because it's gonna be cut like full of like soggy crumbs and maybe jam, and you're ruining the bread because it's just gonna be soggy. I've never done that. It sounds like, yeah, it just sounds like gross soggy bread. Ew. But I do stand by the Yorkshire biscuit tea. The biscuit tea is fantastic. That one is good, but that one also makes sense. Because like, yeah, I do dunk biscuits in my tea, like, and it does change the taste of the tea a little bit when you dunk biscuits in it, because it gets like a bit of extra sugar in it, like some biscuity taste, like yeah, that happens. But like, I don't know, I don't dunk anything in tea. I do dunk donuts and cookies in coffee and milk. Ah, but you know, that's traditional brain. Dunking things in milk. That's old school. Nothing wrong with that. Oh dear. And also again, like donuts and cookies, I probably wouldn't do donuts because I personally don't like a very sweet tea, and I think a lot of sugar would come off the donuts. But like, oh actually no, it's milk. I'd consider it. I'd consider it. But like, yeah, cookies and milk, that's classic. Nothing wrong with that. There you go. Get that there, get that there. Bateman, thank you for the luck. Welcome on in. And the jam, I can kind of understand since it'll sweeten your tea, maybe give it a bit of a fruity taste, but the toast, that's just odd. I mean, the other thing that was kind of disappointing about this tea, which I think made it worse, is it's really weak. Like the biscuit tea, it's a strong smell and it's a strong taste as well. Like, it's there. I had it brewing for like, I want to say 7 or 8 minutes, because every time I took a sip of it, I could barely taste it, right? And the smell is very overpowering, but the taste is not at all. But because like you can't really taste the tea either, it just tastes like a hot water and milk, and then it smells like gross. I think that's what it was. It was a mixture of it smelling really intense, but then like tasting like just hot water. Ugh. Oh, there you go. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. We're doing more beading today. We're just talking a little bit about Yorkshire teas, some of their special flavors. I'm a really, really big fan of the biscuit tea. I've done giveaways where I've given away biscuit tea before. That's how good I think it is. I just think biscuit tea is fantastic. But yeah, the other one, just not so keen. Jam on toast tea, I don't understand. The only tea I brew a week is a smoky tea every morning because we brew so it's like drinking bonfire smoke. Hell yeah. Yeah, the biscuit tea, the Yorkshire biscuit tea, you have to brew for a little bit longer as well. It's like one of those where it's like, it just has quite a long brew time, at least for me personally. I know some people don't do it as long, but like I like it to be quite strong biscuity taste. Because like that's why I buy it. If I wanted just tea, I would drink just tea, but like, you know, I buy this because I want that strong biscuit taste. Oh dear. Also, this is as far as we've got at the moment, go. Ah dear. It's like if you would make tea for Dutch people, just make cheese tea. It would probably not taste good. Yeah, it's like, I like cheese and I like tea. Do I need cheese tea? No. I do not need that. Oh dear. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody made it, but like, do I personally want it? Not really. Doing well. Hope you've been well also. Thank you. Yeah, I can't really talk about. I can. I'm not like under an NDA or anything. I had some really good news the other day. Some really good news, and I'm just kind of waiting for confirmation. It won't affect. Well, it will maybe affect stream, but not really. It's more like a life good news kind of thing. Like I had some good life news. So yeah, I would like to talk about it, but I am very superstitious when it comes to this sort of thing, and I'm like, I won't say what the good news is until I'm 100% sure, because otherwise I always have this like back in the mind kind of thing where it's like, if you tell people before it's confirmed, maybe it won't happen. So I can say that I've had some really good news recently, but I won't tell you what it is. Just in case me telling you what the good news is undoes the good news from happening. Oh, dear. Yeah, hopefully I can tell you about that in a few days or something. I'm very pleased. Can we guess the good news? I mean, you can, as long as you're happy with the fact that I won't tell you if you get it right. and then in a week's time, I was like, you're gonna be like, but I guessed that, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Cheese tea is a type of bubble tea. Oh, no. No. Well, there's just like lumps of cheese in it? No. I like cheese, but don't do that to it. Leave the cheese alone. Oh. No, I'm in a very happy mood because I had happy news, which no one can know. That's okay. Oh dear. I want to put like one in the corner. So I'm just like building up some big beads because I'm like, I kind of want one of these here, and one of these maybe over here, and then a couple of those over there. Make it look nice and random, even though it's got a lot of thought in it. It's like milk foam with grated cheese. I have found the cheese tea. No. Whatever it is, I'm happy for you. Thank you! Yeah, I'm happy, and I will share it eventually, because you guys will find out one way or another. But, yeah, for now, until everything is set in stone, and I'm 100% sure, secret. Ah, dear. Wow. There we go. Zero has told you that they're a student. Oh my god, no, I wouldn't be able to keep that secret, I don't think. I'd like, Zero would be like, can you keep this a secret, Jelly? I'm considering streaming. I'm like, no, I can't keep that a secret. Everyone has to know. I don't know if I could keep that a secret, but that would be amazing news. You're not wrong. I've seen another one that has cream cheese in it, which means you make a tea cheese, not a cheese tea. Because then you could not discriminate against European but also Asian people. Now everyone's mad. Yeah, like we aim to anger the entire world with our products. You know, we believe in equality. You shall all be angry at us. Oh dear. Shadcad, welcome on in. Yeah, we're slowly but surely getting all the beads on the jacket, and she's getting more and more sparkly, and I'm in love. Hell yeah. You found a neat looking camera? Oh no, another one? You do not make cheese tea no matter what. Oh, I'm trying to imagine the flavors together. I'm struggling. You know, I think it'd have to be a pretty mild cheese. I think. And I think it would work with some types of tea better than others. Like maybe if you had like a creamier cheese, like a more, excuse me, soft cheese, like a mild flavor with like a chai tea, and then you sweetened it a little bit with like honey, maybe like honey, chai, and cream cheese. Maybe. Oh dear. Cheese and tea? No ma'am. I thank you for the hit, Cat. I don't want to imagine the flavors. I try to put it together in my head like a puzzle, like trying to Work out which ones could go together. It's hard. It's a difficult one for sure. Oh dear. I just don't know why you'd want to. Because cheese is more expensive than milk anyway. And milk goes fine in tea. Like that you really don't need to change that. And like you can also have tea without milk, but like if you're gonna put something in it, milk's fine. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with just adding milk to your tea. Listen. It's a puzzle I would rather not figure out. Yeah, you know, valid. Very valid. Oh dear. Yeah, yeah, it's a difficult one. I think as well, if you put cheese in your tea, you will be judged. Like, get ready. Even if you love it, it's a hard sell, I think, for the majority of the world, who are very attached to their teas and would not put cheese in them. Also, the parts of the world that are very attached to their cheeses and would not put tea in them. It's Greek yogurt. Ugh, no, not Greek yogurt. No, that's so gross. No, no, Jason. No. That's grim. That's like sour. That's like sour milk. Why would you put that in your... Ugh. You don't put sour milk in your tea. Your tea deserves better than that, Jason. Oh dear. Once did a cafe put whole milk in my tea and turned my tea into cream and it was awful. Yeah, yeah, like that's one thing. A lot of the cafes near us, which I do appreciate, they ask you what kind of milk you want with your tea. So you can have, I think the options are, what's it called? Skimmed, semi-skimmed, whole, or you can have cream. Which means like some people will prefer cream, I suppose, but like it gives people like so that they can have the one that they like the most. And I also think for people who are, you know, watching their weight, diabetic, have some kind of dietary requirement that means they can't have higher fat items, it's nice to have options, you know, where like, yeah, you know what, I might not want whole milk because maybe that's bad for me. I am a semi-skimmed in my tea kind of lady. That's what I would go for, but that's what I grew up with. That's what I'm used to. It's my go-to. Oh dear, anything more than that sounds horrifying. Yeah, that's a very valid feeling, I'd say. Oh dear. Yeah, I think options is the important thing, of like so that everyone can eat together. Having like vegan alternatives as well, for people who are lactose intolerant, vegan. I have a friend who's full on allergic to dairy, which I obviously I suppose people can be allergic to anything, but like I didn't realize that dairy was an allergy, and that sounds really stupid because like of course people can be allergic to dairy, duh. But I always just kind of assume like, oh, it's lactose intolerance, like, you know, it's not. Is it an allergy or is it just lactose intolerance? No, people can. I didn't realize people could be full on allergic to dairy and like have like full on anaphylaxis if they have dairy. So like that too. Also, it's good for that. Oh dear. I mean, like in hindsight, when you think about it, it's like, well, duh, yeah, of course. Like, of course, people are going to, you know, have. You could be allergic to literally anything. Of course, people can also be allergic to dairy. Duh. But like, I really didn't think about it until I met someone who had it. Oh dear. I drink milk, I semi-skimmed, but I take skimmed in my tea where it's an option. Fair. I am not super fan of skimmed milk, but I would take it. Like, I would take it in my tea, fine. Some people can't eat meat because of religion, so having options is nice for them as well. Exactly, yeah. There's a lot of reasons people don't eat meat, though. It's like, I think obviously yes, you have the religious angle. You also have people who, for personal moral reasons, will not eat meat, like for vegans and vegetarians. You have people like me who can't really eat meat because of I don't want to go too much into it, but like certain illnesses prevent you from eating certain foods, and so I can't really eat a lot of meat, really most meat. And yeah, it's nice to have options. There was a place we found before I got sick, which I still really want to go back to. And when we got in, we were shocked because it shouldn't really maybe be so much of a shock, but it was. We went into this place and I went in with a couple of friends. They took me out Actually, they're very kindly going to be taking me out again at the end of the week, which I hope I'm okay for, because I've not been very well recently. But I'm excited, and they're helping me, and I think it should be all right. But yeah, so we went to a place, and I was going with someone who was vegetarian and someone who had a lot of allergies, right? And so when you're going to a restaurant with people with very specific dietary requirements, and like, you know, one is vegan, one is, I said vegetarian, I think she's vegan actually. One is vegan and one is allergic to quite a bit. You kind of expect to not be able to eat very much there. But it was recommended to us by another local. I'm chatty, so I talk to everyone. And yeah, so it was recommended to us. And they were like, yeah, give it a go, give it a go. So we went in, and we were so pleasantly surprised. First of all, they asked immediately off the bat, anyone got allergies? And we could be like, oh yeah, my friend has allergies to this, 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 and this. And they were like, okay, that's fine. And then they gave them the allergy menu, which had like basically the ingredients to everything in it. And this is a big menu as well. And they said, when you collect it, rather than it being delivered to the table, we'll just ask you to collect it and double check with you when you take it, kind of thing. So they were really, really cool about it. And then with my vegan friend, again, we didn't expect them to have that many options. The vegan menu was as big as the actual, like the regular menu. Like every single thing on the menu could be made vegan. And there was lots of just standard vegan options as well. And it was, we were all just kind of sat stunned, like, we can eat a whole menu's worth of food. Like, we can eat everything here. And this menu had like 50 items on it. We can eat all of them. And yeah, I guess long story short, we're going to be going back a lot, because like, normally if you're going in with people with dietary requirements, you can eat like 3 or 4 things on the menu, on that menu. And so like, it takes a couple of visits and you've basically eaten everything there, right? So there's just not a lot of variety. Whereas I think we could probably, because they do seasonal stuff, so throughout the year it changes. I imagine we could go there like every week for an entire year and still not have eaten everything on the menu. It's crazy. We're so happy. And they're not even marketed as like a vegan or vegetarian restaurant or anything like that. They just make everything so that it can be. And like, yeah, it was such a nice surprise. And we all had meals we all loved as well. Like, everything we ate was delicious. I've been back there a couple times, and everything I've continued to eat there has been delicious. Unfortunately, not since I got ill, because, you know, I took what was it? Mama Jelly there. Oh! A bug. A bug. I want it. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll ignore it for now. I have to finish my tea quickly so that it can't get my tea. Bug! Yes, bug. I see it. It's up on the ceiling right now, so it's too tall for me. Quickly drink my tea. Yeah, I took Mama Jelly there before we got ill. Before I got ill. They didn't get ill. It was just me. But yeah, we had a nice meal there as well. And they obviously had the menu with all the meat stuff on it. And yeah, it was, everything I've had there has been really, really good. And the price has been good, and the portion size has been good. And honestly, it's just nice to have a local place that's like that. We didn't have it in the last place we lived. I mean, to be fair, the last place we lived there like half the year we were on lockdown every year. So I guess it wasn't the best for that anyway. Or the best time for that anyway. Sorry, I'm on bug watch now. I don't want any bugs in my tea. But yeah, it's really nice just to have somewhere like that nearby. Big fan. Once I'm feeling a bit better, I'd like to go back there a few more times. So I just have to drink my tea really quickly. I don't trust, because every time there's a bug in this room, they go straight for my tea. It's probably because it smells like biscuits. So like, maybe I'm doing it to myself by drinking the biscuit tea, but every time I have a cup of tea and there's a bug in this room, the bug's like, oh, a tea, and it smells like biscuits, let's go into it. And many times I've had to stop drinking my tea on stream because there's just a bug in it suddenly. And I was like, where did you come from and why? Oh, I don't even know how it got in, actually. It must have got in when we were going in and out the door, because, like, it's not really opening the windows kind of weather here. How'd you get in here, huh? How'd you get in? Damn, one underwater camera, even though I haven't swam in the ocean in years. You have some really beautiful oceans. Well, I mean, obviously it's a huge country, but, like, around Australia. I imagine you could get some absolutely stunning under the water shots. Not that I'm trying to, like, you know, I'm not trying to be like, yeah, get the camera, because I know you already have, like, 50. But, like, I'm sure, like, as far as underwater photography goes, you probably have some of the best in the world, right? You had a ladybug? Aww. See, I do have a soft spot for ladybugs. I know they're not very good for plants, which is why I tend to, like, catch them and put them outside, but, like, I do like ladybugs. They are cute. Little spotty things. So cute. I love that they come in different colors as well, like the yellow ones and then the red ones. Oh, so cute. And sometimes you get the black ones. They're so cool. But yeah, I do. They're not good for plants, so I normally, like, put them back outside again because we have a lot of indoor plants. And I don't want them being eaten by ladybirds. I need to swim with the sea lions again. That seems dangerous, and I don't encourage it. God, I'm so slow at drinking tea. You wouldn't believe that I'm British, huh? Because I'm just like sip, 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 sip. The slowest tea drinker. Okay, nearly done. Okay, we're good. Tea has been consumed. Now I don't have to worry about a bug landing in it. Oh, it's okay. It was with a charter boat or whatever. It was only taken away from the swim area once. Oh dear. How many of you guys have swam in the middle of the ocean? Just out of curiosity, like where you can't see land. So you're just like in the middle of the ocean. Have many of you done it? I have once swam in the middle of the ocean, and I honestly don't know if I'd be brave enough to do it now, because like obviously you can't see the bottom, and like every now and again you see like, oh, I've done it not around the UK, I should say. I would not do it in the middle of the UK. Was too much trash, too many fishing nets, but yeah, I have done it. It just seems kind of scary though, like not being able to see what's below you. And I did it when I was a bit younger as a thing, so I think I was just a bit braver. But you just got yourself some tea. Heck yeah! Enjoy your tea. Yeah. And then like, I've sailed through the ocean a few times, but like I wouldn't jump off the boat. No, like even like we had a couple people on board who were like certified divers, right? They're really useful because if your propeller gets stuck in a net, they can go underneath the boat and like, you know, unhook it. It happened I think 3 times between us and Belgium, so like it happens a lot. It's useful. They're very, very handy. Love them a lot. But yeah, I couldn't, it's so cold. Couldn't imagine it. I want to go to Shark Cage, but I feel like my fat belly would be ideal shark snack. I kind of have an interest in doing that as well, but I probably wouldn't. Like I am how do you put it? I love a lot of ocean life, but I'm quite happy to like love it from a distance. I don't need to be up close and personal with it most of the time. I like watching Blue Planet. I've been up and close personal with some jellyfish before. I've honestly been really, really lucky because I have swum with some pretty poisonous jellyfish in complete ignorance. Like, this is the thing, I didn't know. It's one of those instances where you hop in the water and you see a massive jellyfish. You're like, oh, I wonder what that is. Oh, well. And so, like, I've honestly been really, really lucky probably not to have been stung. Because I've never been stung by a jellyfish, but I've swum with them quite a few times. The ones in the UK are like pretty harmless, to be honest. Like you have like moon jellyfish mainly, and like you're not going to get stung by those. They don't sting you. They don't have enough venom to sting a human. So like, I swum with those plenty of times, but like when I've been abroad, I have also swum with jellyfish. And I was younger, and so I just didn't have like the instant like, oh, I should be afraid of this kind of thing. There was also when we went to, where was it? It would have been, where was it? It was difficult because one of the holidays, but I don't remember which one. Anyway, there were like all of these jellyfish on the beach, so I was like picking them up and throwing them back in the water. And it's only when we got home that we realized that they were also venomous. And again, I was picking them up by their heads and throwing them back in like that, but I was very lucky that they didn't touch me because it would have hurt. None of them are like deadly. None of them are like deadly jellyfish, but it would have hurt, you know? Yeah, but I've always dreamed about that I'm gonna swim to England. Oh, I wouldn't recommend it. There's so much in the ocean. Because where we have vacation, you could theoretically swim to England. Yeah, people do swim the channel. Like normally they're people that are like very, very well trained. Like they train really hard to do it because it's a hard swim. But like, yeah, people do swim the channel. The cage is far enough, right? Yeah, I'm okay staying a distance. Oh dear, that's why I use a small shovel. Yeah, in hindsight, again, it's one of those things. It was like, we were at the beach, had a nice time, threw the jellyfish back in the water, and then, you know, got home and like, I wonder what jellyfish that was. Oh. Probably shouldn't have been touching that. Again, none of them like really dangerous, but they'll give you a good sting, like it'll hurt. A friend of mine, they got stung by a jellyfish. I honestly, they're really lucky that they're okay. They have a good scar across their back from it. And like, yeah, again, you kind of realize that there are some very, very poisonous or venomous, I can't remember which one it is, jellyfish out there. And like, some of them will give you a good welt if it touches you. It's not the jellyfish's fault, and I think, you know, it's better to approach wildlife with caution and respect rather than fear. But like, I do also totally understand if you get stung by a jellyfish and then you're afraid of them. Because that's fair. You know, I don't like wasps for the same reason, and jellyfish hurt a lot more than wasps a lot of the time. Oh dear. Unless you get those like, is it in Australia you have those like crazy wasps? Like the really intense ones? The ones with like zero chill? I feel like that sounds like Australia. There are some, I don't remember what they're called, but I'm pretty sure there are some wasps that are like, they just have no chill whatsoever. Oh dear. I think they're meant to hurt quite a lot. I actually don't know. I'll have to look it up after stream then. They're like they're just a really, really nasty wasp. I thought it was Australia, but maybe I'm getting confused. I think maybe I just assume as well. Let me have a look. I'll tie this off because I need to get some North thread anyway, and I can look up the wasp. Go. Nip that off. Bonk. Bonk. And there. Where else would I mean? Yeah, mean angry animal live. Yeah, I think that's the logic of like, it's probably Australia, isn't it? It seems like it's always Australia. Let's have a look. What would they'd be like, aggressive wasps? Maybe. Wasp. Oh, the first thing that comes up is aggressive wasp Australia. Maybe I'm not wrong. Okay. Is it paper wasps? But they're not as aggressive as European wasps. I don't think it's paper wasps that I'm thinking of. If I just type in like worst wasp sting. Worst wasp sting. Which one has the worst sting? Oh. Tarantula hawks. Is that what I'm thinking of? Maybe. Wait. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Oh heck no. Yeah, I'm not gonna put it on screen because I know a lot of people are quite like have different phobias, and this one in particular is quite bad. But if you're curious, I'm thinking of the tarantula hawk. which is a spider wasp. And where's it from? Let's see. They're found on all continents other than Antarctica? Oh, hell no. No. What do you mean they're everywhere? They tend to be in, okay, they include areas of India, Southeast Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia, and America. That's everywhere. That's everywhere. Why are they everywhere? Oh God. Yeah, South America. Jesus, what? Oh, apparently they're the state. Okay. Oh, it's a state insect of New Mexico. That's kind of interesting. I mean, it is definitely different looking. It's very intimidating. Like, the size of the thing, and the fact, like, it's an intimidating shape. I think it's one of those things as well where, like, the legs are very spider-esque. So, like, anyone who doesn't like spiders is also probably going to find this one quite hard to look at. Like, it's got very spiderish legs, which I guess is why it's called the tarantula hawk. The wings look like they're built for speed. Like, it looks strong. Like, it does just look strong. Like, it looks like a strong insect. But, like, I feel like if you have a phobia of insects, it probably has, like, everything that you're afraid of in an insect. Like, it looks like it hits most of the criteria of being afraid of an insect. You got murder hornets, and I think they're angry. They sound pretty angry. Oh dear, just Google it. Heck no, kill it with fire. Yeah, it's if you're not a fan of insects, I think this one's gonna be quite a lot. But this is the one that I was definitely thinking of. Murder hornets, I'm going to look up now. Sorry, I'll be back to beading in a second. I just really need to know about the murder hornets. Oh God, yeah, I've seen stuff of these before. Yeah, the Japanese giant hornet. It's the world's largest hornet, and it's like a pest. And like, everyone panics when you find one abroad because you're like, we don't want this in our country. This is a nightmare insect to come to the country. It is, yeah, it's huge. They're pretty aggressive, aren't they? These ones, like they're very territorial. How dangerous is the murder hornet? Let's find out. Again, I won't show it on screen, don't worry. Like, just so that people who are more phobic about insects don't see it. Oh, it's in North America, apparently. There you go. Enjoy that, North America. It's got the supervillain nickname, the murder hornet. Feels disturbingly apt. Oh, is this the one that eats bees? It is, isn't it? Yeah. That's why it's so bad, because it destroys the local bee population. Yeah, so obviously bees do a really important job of pollinating and keeping crops alive and all that kind of stuff. So if there are hornets coming in and eating all of the bees, then yeah, that could honestly cause a catastrophe. So, and bees are already struggling, so they don't need anything else on their plate. Yeah. Ooh, dear. Oh, the insects are... Okay. Yeah, if it does advance, it'll mean trouble because of they attack bees. Yeah, I think it's specifically the attacking the bees. I'm sure that the hornet sting hurts as well, but what I'm mainly seeing as far as like the issues with this particular breed of hornet traveling into the rest of the world, it's that it will kill the bees. Which is a very fair to not want that happening. Murder hornets are considered snacks. You know, maybe we should be eating them more. How you describe them all sounds like a Pokemon. Yeah, it honestly kind of looks like a Pokemon in that, like, it looks like all the bits that people are afraid of different insects pushed into one. Maybe like put some scorpion feeling in there as well with a big tail. Oh dear. Murder hornets are considered snacks and drink ingredients. Ooh. The adults are fried on skewers, sting and all, and the body becomes crunchy. Oh yeah, because they have like an exoskeleton. Also 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. There you go, sorry. Panda, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. We're talking about tarantula hawks and murder hornets right now. Yeah, I don't remember why we decided talking about bugs, but bugs are on the table at the moment. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing good. I need to find the murder hornet recipe. Do you get murder hornets in Australia then, or is it just that you eat them there? Because it does. But then I guess you're not super far from Asia. Like, yeah, it seems like it's more of a they're more of a thing in Asia than that. Nice. I have murder hornets in my. Oh, do you actually? How many murder hornets do you think you could eat in one go? Because they're kind of big, right? And how long do they last? Like, if you were to kill every murder hornet in your garden, right? And then, could you freeze them? Ah, dear. Sorry, I'm just putting my arm in the air, which is why my model is freaking out a little bit. I will get the perfect place for the camera at some point, but I'm not too worried about it while we're in temporary space, as long as it's okay most of the time. It just means if I do like this, my model flicks around. Oh dear, eat them, eat them. I had 2 last summer, yeah, they're huge. You could, but I wouldn't. Fair. Could you sell them to be consumed? Be like, hi, yeah, I am now producing murder hornets. I can sell you 1 pound of murder hornets. Oh dear. Right, flip it over. Back to here. Yeah, we've been quite lucky with hornets in particular. We had wasps in our house growing up, like wasps' nests. They'd get in the roof and then like we'd have wasps in our roof kind of thing. But they were normally in a position where we could just suck them up with the vacuum and eventually there'd be no more wasps. That's literally what Mama Jelly would do. She'd just sit there with the vacuum cleaner and you just watch the wasps go up the tube, like whoop, 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 until there were no more wasps. And we used to have to do that like every single year nearly, because God, they were persistent. They would keep coming back. They're a problem here, so we just kill them. They're invasive and hurt the ecosystem. Yeah, we were talking about the issue that we had with they have like, so because they kill bees, and so because they're aggressive against bees, they're quite a big problem. Because we need the bees for the crops, and also just generally the ecosystem is quite heavily reliant on the work that bees do. I have 2 kinds of wasps: yellow jackets and blue wasps. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never really looked into the breeds of wasps that would have been there. Like, we knew it happened every year, and it was just kind of like a yearly thing of the wasps being outside the window or in the roof or whatever. But, like, I never really looked into, like, what kind of wasp they were. My friend would get them in the eaves of her house, and her dad would make a mini flame for her. Oh my God, that's so dangerous. You're lucky they didn't burn the house down. Jesus Christ. Oh dear. Oh, I think it was last year. Last year I saw a hibernating wasp. And like in this house as well, we think we had a queen wasp come in to hibernate as well. When we were like doing the loft, there was just this. At first, I wasn't sure what it was because it was so big, and it was like, no, that's definitely a wasp. But it was like really, really slow and like sluggish, and it wasn't really doing anything. And it's like, okay, this is a queen wasp getting ready to hibernate in our house. Absolutely not. Sorry, I think we just batted it out the window at the time. I can't remember if we killed it. I don't think we did. But yeah, no, like you're not hibernating in our loft. And also like that'd be really bad for it as well, because like our loft is in construction right now. It's gonna get built into the house. Oh dear. We had 2 of them build nests on the roof and stuff, and then those who nest on the ground. Yeah, like we used to get one at school quite often, and that used to be like pretty close to the ground, which it was really bad because obviously like this is my primary school, so like the kids were aged from like I think 4 to 10 or something like that. So yeah, way too young to like have a wasp's nest that close by, you know, like when they're still in the grabby eaty phase. So yeah, they had to deal with that pretty quickly every year, because otherwise some kid would eat a wasp or something, I don't know. Mini flavor kind of, oh god, a bit like now, you know. Oh, don't worry, I knew about it. I've been to college. I've seen people do stuff like that. You know, one thing that really gets me, and it happens all the time, people set fire to their own farts. And like, It's a problem. Luckily, it's not like a TikTok trend at the moment or anything, because I feel like that'd be 10 times worse. But like, the amount of people that end up in A&E every year because they set fire to their own farts, and what happens is, if it properly catches light and everything goes well, the fire goes straight up your rectum and like burns the inside of your intestine. And it's like super dangerous. So you have to go to A&E and like, yeah, and like in bad cases you'll have to have like, you'll no longer be able to use your butt, so you'll have to use like a bag. You have to have what's it called, a colostomy bag or something like that? Yeah, because they've burnt inside of their, because that skin doesn't really heal very well. So if you've burnt the inside of your rectum, you might have to use a colostomy bag for the rest of your life. Oh my god. Literally, it was shocking to me how many people were doing it, and you're like, wait, what? Why are people doing this? Why? This is there is a proper way. I don't think you can advertise for a proper way to do it, because people won't listen. I would highly recommend just don't do it, because if you do it wrong, you could kill yourself. Best not to teach people a better way of doing it, when if they do it wrong, they kill themselves. Oh dear. I wonder who the wasp meat eater I'd eat it. Glad I never tried that. Yeah, please don't. Please do not be one of the people every year that does that. Lots of the people who put things up their butt. Yeah, there's whole books of people putting weird stuff up their butt. And like, this is a judgment-free zone as far as like the things you choose to do, like you're all good. That being said, please be sensible. There's nothing wrong with sticking stuff up your butt, but maybe don't have a light bulb. Maybe not a light bulb. I think that's a bad idea. Like, I won't judge you for putting things up your butt, but I will judge you if you're putting stupid shit up your butt, you know? Dear. It's not the act, it's the thoughtlessness around the act that I'll judge you for. Oh dear. I'm sorry, they just naturally come stuck. Yeah. There's like a whole book of x-rays of things people have put up their butt. I don't remember what the book is called, it came out a while ago, but like, yeah, you could just see, there's like, the Buzz Lightyear one always gets me. Every single time, you're like, why an entire Buzz Lightyear doll? Oh yeah, that sounds about right. If you want to stick something up your butt, make sure there's a base to it so you get out without surgery. Yes, and like be sensible about it. Like, if it's made of glass or like a shatterable material, it is best not to do it. Like, at all. In any hole. Keep that out of you. Oh dear. So lads, good to know, yeah. Don't set your farts on fire. Don't put shatterables up your ass. I'm not gonna judge you for the what you do, but I will judge you if it's stupid. Oh dear. Panda, please don't advertise something that kills people in my chat. Listen, I'm glad that none of you have got hurt, but I want to be very, very, very clear. I cannot advocate for it while being live on Twitch because it's irresponsible. If you've managed to be safe, I'm glad. I'm glad that obviously you are safe. But please look at my perspective as a streamer of not advertising something that literally kills people. Oh dear. To infinity and beyond. Well, that's what everyone said when that picture came out. I think they talked about it on the Russell Howard Good News show at one point. Yeah, of being like, here's an interesting thing. Thing is, again, like, if that's something you're gonna do, like, I'm not gonna judge you for it. I don't necessarily need to know, I should say, but like, I'm not here to judge you. But I will judge you if you've done something stupid. You know, sticking stuff up your butt, won't judge you for that, but I will judge you if it's like a light bulb. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my god. Please be safe. Yes. Honestly, most of the time, you can buy something that's safe to put up your ass for cheaper than a light bulb anyway. There we go. Oh dear. The things you've seen. It's just like, again, it's a bad object to pick though, because it's larger at the top than it is at the bottom. Like, all of these are really bad. They're just bad picks. Like, if the light bulb is a bad pick for so many reasons. The fact that it's shatterable, but also the fact that it's not a bright idea, you're right. The fact that it's shatterable, but also that it's like bigger at the top than the bottom. So like, there's so many reasons that one in particular is a really bad call. Like, they basically took everything that you shouldn't do and were like, light bulbs. Yeah. And like, that shatters. Oh, do you guys remember? Okay, sorry, we're getting into Reddit story territory. Do you guys remember the story on Reddit about the guy with the magnetic beads? Do you guys remember that? It's a story. It's a story and a half. Maybe I'd have to find it so that I can quote it properly. But I do want to know if anyone else remembers this particular story, because it did go pretty viral, I'd say, at the time when it came out. The guy with the magnetic beads. I feel like as soon as you say magnetic beads, you probably already know where this is going, but it is worse than you think it is if you haven't heard about it. So basically, there's like a story on Reddit about a guy who, you don't remember it? Oh, get ready. It's something. A guy on Reddit who was experimenting with sounding. For those who don't know what sounding is, kids leave the room. This is an 18+ stream for a reason. It's like sticking a stick down your dick hole. And like, some people enjoy that. So you put like a stick down your dick, and that's sounding. So a guy was experimenting with that, right? And he had this, like, I don't remember what the toy is called, but it's basically like kinetic beads, like little magnetic beads, and they form like strings, and they got like a pretty strong bond, and you can create like little sculptures and stuff with them. And so he decided he was going to try with that, and he was like, yeah, this is good. I'm enjoying this. This is what I like. So he does that until one day, he goes for it, and he's going a bit harder than normal, and suddenly it feels like something's stuck, and the magnetic beads have formed a knot inside of him that he can no longer pull out because they've all bundled up, and the more that he's like moving it, the more they're like knotting inside, because they're all magnetic. They all magnetize to each other. Come on in. You've come in at a hell of a time. So I hope you're doing well. Oh goodness. And so he has to like very, very carefully, like slowly but surely, get them out and like try and undo the knot from the inside. Like he does, as far as he's aware, get all of the beads out, and then he posts the story on Reddit, and everyone on Reddit's like, please go to a doctor to make sure that you don't have like a bead sitting in your like bladder or something. And so he had to go to the doctor to get a scan to make sure that there weren't any leftover beads, which, by the way, I actually agree with Reddit. In this case, they should, like, please, if you're not sure, go to a doctor, because, like, you do not want, like, a magnetic bead just inside of you like that. And, yeah. And so it's, like, a cautionary tale of, like, there are things that are produced for these purposes. Don't start using random stuff around the house. Go buy the appropriate stuff, because it is not safe. Like, there's nothing wrong with experimenting, but there is something wrong with experimenting with shit like that. It's dangerous. Oh dear, that would be terrible. I can't imagine a more horrific situation. I don't even have a penis. Like, the idea of it just knotting inside. Oh, good God. There are lots of stories about kids who eat magnetic beads, and it causes a lot of problems if they get into the intestines. Yeah, to be careful. Like, geomag was what we had over here. I don't think it's the same as the ones that this guy was talking about, but we had geomag, and they're like you had like the magnetic sticks and the balls that go between them. I was obsessed with them growing up, but like, I'll be honest, I'm sorry, Mama Jelly, if you're listening, I used to bite them. They were very biteable. So I guess I'm one of the kids that got lucky. But yeah, I used to bite them. Oh dear. What I don't understand is why. I think a lot of people, there's like a stigma, right, about trying new things, and like I think sometimes rather than buying like the proper sex toy to try new things, people will just experiment with stuff that they already have, so they don't have to like order it or go into a sex shop or stuff like that. I think a lot of it does come down to just being like not wanting, like feeling the stigma and not wanting people to know. These days, I would say most packaging is very, very subtle, like people won't know. But also, it is much better to go through that embarrassment than to have to go into hospital being like, I stuck magnetic balls up my dick and I'm worried one of them might be stuck in my bladder. Like, you know, I feel like it's much better to deal with like maybe a slight embarrassment of going into a shop than that embarrassment of like having to explain that to your doctor. Oh, it's one on the top of a radio antenna. Did it come out? If it's still in you should probably go to the doctor. You should probably get that checked out. You might be broadcasting without even realizing it, Jason. Although it was really amazing, and yeah, the doctor will tell that story for years. Yeah, doctors are human too. Oh dear. So yeah, I think comparatively to the embarrassment of going in a sex shop, and again, like you don't even need to do that. Online shipping is very subtle most of the time. Like stores aren't there to like out you to your housemates or whatever. Yeah, like it is better to just be safe. Yeah, that's my fault. I'm a judgment-free zone unless you do something stupid, and then I will judge you. Oh dear. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I was 9 or 10 when I swallowed it. It's been in and out of here, but oh, okay. I'd say if you're ever gonna get like an MRI or something, you should probably mention it. Just so they can double check ahead of time. But, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, that's always been like my biggest fear with MRIs is like, what if like I've accidentally swallowed something metallic and then I go in the MRI and it like rips it out of me. Like I'm terrified. For those who don't know so much, MRIs are like magnetic machines. So like they whir around you and they scan parts of your body, and I'm like, and so if you do have metal in you, it will move it because it's a tube of magnets whirring around you. So like if you're in the least bit concerned that there's metal in you, like say you have like a metal shoulder or something, you tell them about that ahead of time so they don't damage you. And it's been like, every time I get in there, I'm like, what if in my sleep I got up and I swallowed, I don't know, a fridge magnet or something? What then, huh? I wouldn't know. I'm always terrified, and it's always been fine. It's like I've never had any problems, but like I always have that fear of like, what if I swallowed a fridge magnet and I just don't know about it yet? Oh dear. I did a work experience month in a local A&E, and some stuff people sucking their butt stories came out of lunchtime. Yeah, I will say, I don't want to say who, but because I have family who work in the NHS, like a few of them, I have heard some stories. That is where I heard of the stories of people like setting fire to their asses. Yep, it's intense. Oh my god, yeah, some of the things people do. You'll be scared. Good. Be afraid. That's what I want to do in my streams. I want to scare everyone. I'm not a judgment-free zone. I'll judge every aspect of your life. Hell yeah. Couldn't they use one of those airport security panels beforehand? So I think for small bits of metal, like fillings, for instance, and stuff like that, they don't show up on airport security. So it's best just to have like a quick x-ray and double check, because it will show up on an x-ray if it's a very small bit of metal. Because there's like stories of people who have like, maybe they've been shot previously, right? And so they have bits of like really small fragments of metal in them, teeny tiny ones that wouldn't normally get picked up. An x-ray will pick those up, and an MRI will definitely pick them up if you don't know they're there. So it's like better to check ahead of time before you put someone in an MRI to make sure that you know like that they don't have tiny scraps of metal in them. Remove piercings. Definitely remove piercings. Good advice. Let's check out your stores open about where they put the front of the shop's magazine, like the one where you can see the sales stuff. This happened to me at my work. An old person came in to me and asked what that was. Oh. The air doctors and asking them the weirdest stuff they found in people. Think there would be probably some patient confidentiality, but I'm sure they could tell the stories as long as people weren't involved, right? The anus is not for storage. but it can carry 2 raccoons. That's impressive. Their story is the man with a tattoo on its private area of the dragon you pulled back and forth because breathing fire. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Honestly, that's kind of metal though. Oh, dude. Just because it can fit doesn't mean it should. This is the thing, is like, again, like, invest in proper equipment if you're experimenting so that you don't end up in A&E because you've smashed a light bulb in your asshole. Oh dear. Okay, jelly words of wisdom for the day. If you're experimenting, use the proper equipment so that you don't end up getting injured. Oh dear. Okay. What? 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 Little bit surely we're working our way down the coat. I have just been kind of cracking on with it while this whole conversation's are going, like, yeah, we're talking about something a bit crazy right now, but like, I am just gonna keep going with this. I don't know how we got from the bugs to this, but that's okay. I remember hearing a story about how a man had an accident of headache because of headaches. Turned out his wife shot him in. Oh no! Oh my god! What a weird. Whoa, he's so How the hell would you not know? Wait, like surely you'd wake up and there'd be like blood on the pillow and you'd be like, that wasn't there before. Like, I know you can survive a shot to the head, but it's like, it's super like rare. And like, surely you'd know. What's more embarrassing, going to a sex shop or going to A&E? Well, this is the thing, yeah. It's like, what is more embarrassing? One or the other? Like literally just and again, these days you don't even have to go to a sex shop. You could just order it online. It comes in like normal packaging. Like, no one's going to know. And there is really no excuse. And half the time they're cheaper than whatever it is that you're using anyway. Like, it's not, I maybe feel differently if it was like a really, really expensive niche, but like, it's not. Oh dear, you spend a couple quid and it saves you like the hospital bills. Oh. How you know? I know, right? I have no idea. You have to be moving behind you. What do I come into? I used to see it. We're talking about people who, instead of buying like a sex toy, they shove like light bulbs up their ass. Like, I won't judge you for shoving stuff up your ass, but I will judge you if it's a light bulb. Stupid. Oh, good morning, guys. I hope you're graduating from Sick Club nicely. Oh dear. Happy graduation. Oh no, I didn't answer as a lingerie sexy shop in the UK when I was younger, and the questions I've answered. Yeah, some people are very open, to be fair. I think, because I also worked in lingerie, I didn't work in a sex shop, I should say, as well, but I did work in lingerie. And some people are just very open, and like, I don't, how to put it? I don't need all of the information most of the time. I just need to know what you want to buy. And like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I'm a normal human being. I don't need to know too much about your private life or why you need a certain item, anything like that. Just help me find what you need. Oh, that being said, I still judge you a hell of a lot more if you put a light bulb up your ass. If it was long enough ago, I guess it could be the case. Only question is A&E. Yeah, A&E. Yeah, they're about to say A&E is accident and emergency. So like, if you have to get an ambulance or if you're in like a really bad state, you go to A&E. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. And not a silly question at all either. May I remember the story. Turns out it happened that night. Then in the morning, the pain for the back. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense, because otherwise, like, how would you get by in life just not realizing that you've been shot in the head? I feel like you'd be able to tell. We had a man who got off on trying to get you to explain things and expecting to returns. It turns out I went full and he just stopped talking to me. Hell yeah, yeah. That is the one thing that I stand by, is like, just because it's a fetish shop or like it is more aimed at that kind of direction, you don't involve people who are not consenting in your fetish. I don't know, you know. I don't think it's that much of a hot take to say, like, don't involve people non-consenting in your fetish. Because at the end of the day, if you have something like that where you like people explaining things to you, there are conventions for that sort of thing. There are meetups, there are groups where you can do that kind of stuff consensually. Like, but walking up to someone who is not consented, who you don't know, and have never had any words like that, and then expecting that, it's icky. It's very icky. There we go. Almost as icky as putting a light bulb on. I'll never get over that one. That was so bad. I was like, I'm doing my job, mate, leave me alone. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh. Oh my god, Soul! Heck, well, okay, I should say hello if you're raiding from Soulstream. We are an 18+ stream, just so that you are aware. We are having a bit of an explicit conversation right now. If that is not your cup of tea, I will not be all offended if you have to leave. But I also feel like, yeah, because in raids it doesn't tell you if it's an 18+ stream, and we're not honestly normally that bad, but today we're talking about putting light bulbs up your butt, so like just as a heads up, so you're not feeling like, whoa, what the heck is going on here. But welcome on in, Soul. If you're sticking around, I hope you have had a good stream. I wonder what you got up to today. Oh dear. Ah dear. And Gnome, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Totally here. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. I just, we are always an 18+ stream because I like being able to go into whatever topic we want to discuss that day, and sometimes that does mean slightly raunchier subjects, but most of the time you wouldn't really see us as an 18+ stream, but today in particular we are. I'm not offended, but it's a little unusual content. Also, sorry if it's been asked 100 times, but when is a charity stream? Honestly, ICC, you can come in every single stream and ask, and it gives me an opportunity to advertise it. Please give me more opportunities to advertise charity stream. Maybe putting light bulbs up something. Oh no, we're not doing anything. We are saying it's a bad idea. And Kimki, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. The shades of people like that is the lack of consent is often part of the kink. Yeah. Kink is cool, but only when it's fully... I think that's the thing, is like consent is very, very important. Walks in with sandwich board. Thank you! Okay, so for people that are not aware, next week, between the 6th and the 12th of February, we're doing a charity stream for Mermaids. Mermaids is a charity in the UK that helps non-binary, gender non-conforming and transgender youth in the UK. They're actually doing they're doing a lot of hard work at the moment in particular. They are directly fighting against JK Rowling and the LGBT Alliance, which is a hate group in the UK, which seeks to remove trans people from public places. They are literally in court with them as we speak. They've been in court with them for the last 6 to 8 months at this point, fighting for trans people to have just general human rights. And we're going to be supporting them next week by speed running Celeste. We're going to be practicing from Monday to Saturday. It's a speed run that I've never done before, so I'm very new to it. Oh my god, 4dads, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the raid. We're just talking about the charity stream next week. And we're going to be, because, so Celeste, for those who aren't aware, it features a trans main character, but it also, the production team behind them, it supports trans creators. So we wanted to support a game that supported not only having trans identities within the game, but also as part of the development team. So we're going to be speedrunning Celeste specifically, and we're encouraging anybody else who has never speedrun the game before to give it a go. It's about 14 quid, I think, on Steam. The main character is trans. So at the end of the game, you see them with the trans flag on them. I mean, the color scheme as well. I don't know that it necessarily is a reference, but she does end up being light pink, light blue, and white. But yeah. She is trans. So Madeline is based on one of the based on how to put it, roughly based on one of the production team, Maddie. So sharing the same name, who is also a transgender woman. So a lot of the experiences that Madeline goes through in the game are like direct. What would you put it? Like stuff that happened in real life. Like it's a representation of stuff that happened in real life. Oh, bless you, you're fine, 4dads. Good luck. I hope that I hope technology works for you soon. Bless you. Ah, dear. So yeah, they are very much like representative of someone's real life experiences as a transgender woman, and it is explored a little bit more in the DLC or the extra content, which we won't be doing as part of the speed run. But I would encourage you, if you are playing the game, it's in there. You can go see it yourself. And every person who purchases a game is directly supporting trans creators. By promoting the game, you are directly supporting trans creators. If you already own the game, it's a really good week to be playing it on Twitch, because unfortunately, Twitch is likely to be a little bit of an inhospitable place for specifically transgender people, but also I would say by extension non-binary people next week and potentially for the rest of the month as well. If you are looking to doing something like, you know, to support, I would say purchasing Celeste, donating to mermaids, all of these are really good things. Or again, just playing Celeste on stream, showing support for a game that does support transgender creators. Yeah, I think it's all really good things you can do next week. We'll be doing a lot of speedrun practice, but we will also be doing some crafting. We'll have giveaways, we'll have silly challenges, stuff like that. Regular charity stream stuff, so it'll be really, really fun. But also this will specifically be a prize to the first person who beats my time. I'll be setting the time on the 12th. The first person after I've set my time who beats my time will win this. And I know there's a few people already gunning for it, but it's a beginner's competition. Everyone is just starting out now. So if you are interested in giving it a go, you could win prizes, but also you'd be supporting an amazing charity and also supporting an amazing game. So yes, there's my spiel. Starting next Monday. And again, try to get as many streamers as possible involved if they want to be. But, you know, and if you are wanting to be, let me know. I'll add you as a speedrunner. We have some secret channels in the Discord right now, getting ready for next week. So yes, let me know. It's cool. I'm so excited. Mermaids in particular. This is something that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and I think it's because a lot of people, and this isn't a dig, I don't want it to be like a dig. If you are standing up against J.K. Rowling, you're doing the good fight. But what a lot of people don't know is stuff that's happening specifically in the UK, where J.K. Rowling is literally being quoted in UK politics as to basically prevent trans people from getting rights. Unfortunately, J.K. Rowling has a huge influence over here. And so while I'm not going to say they don't have an influence worldwide as well, but their influence in the UK is felt directly in the fact that J.K. Rowling is being quoted in Parliament to prevent people from getting the rights they deserve. Not only that, she is actively funding the hate, I keep almost calling them charities, the hate groups that are trying to shut down mermaids and other transgender or LGBT plus groups. She is funding them. When you send her royalties, that's where they're going. They're going to, unfortunately, fund the hate groups in the UK that are trying to get rid of trans people from the public eye. It's really gross, it's really disgusting, and it's not something that I'm seeing a lot of international people talking about, and I think it's because unless you're here in the UK, you probably don't know about it. But in Scotland, they're currently in court right now trying to get, again, just very standard stuff for trans rights in court right now, and J.K. Rowling is funding the organisation that is against that. So this is happening right now, like as we speak, and it will continue to be happening probably for the next few months. But I do worry about what's going to happen after Hogwarts Legacy releases and she gets all this royalty money, because I can kind of already see where that's going. And it's already a long fight to get trans people to have rights over here, and in Scotland at the moment that's the fight. And it's really sad that in like a week's time, the money that she gets from that game might be enough to tide it in her favor. So yeah, that's where that's I guess the British stance, because again, like if you're in America or elsewhere in the world, you might not know about the cases that are being fought directly here in this country right now that J.K. Rowling is having like a direct impact on. So yeah, I feel like it's important to get that information out there. You're not supporting just a TERF, or you're not just supporting her. You are sending money towards a hate group that is currently fighting against mermaids, the charity that we are trying to raise money for, and against the transgender people in Scotland right now, to basically make it so they don't have rights in the country. It's not just supporting a TERF. It's a lot more than that right now. And again, unless you're here, you probably don't know about it. And this isn't to like dunk on any people talking out and like hating on J.K. Rowling, because like that's still very valid as well. But on top of that, she's also funding the hate group that's currently trying to remove transgender rights in Scotland. So, yeah, when she gets all those royalties, I wonder where they're gonna go. Probably the same place she keeps putting all of her money. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough month on Twitch for unfortunately transgender non-binary people. And if anyone can spend like a little bit of time, you don't have to raise money, but just creating a space, I think, for those people who are having their rights taken away as we speak, I think that would be a really nice thing to do. Yeah, like you don't have to spend any money, but just, you know, this is the thing. And like, I'll be honest, I kind of got schooled on this by another streamer, and 10 out of 10, I'm glad that I did. I used to have no politics as a rule in my channel, right? And I was really, really probably not thinking very much when I put that in there, because what I was thinking is I don't want people debating who they want the next prime minister to be and stuff like that, because I don't want those kind of debates in my chat necessarily. Like, I have enough of that every single day. This is escape for me too. But what you do is when you avoid politics, politics is transgender rights. So you can't, if you're saying fuck J.K. Rowling and screw, like, transgender rights, trans people deserve rights, you are a political channel. You've made a political statement on your channel, because unfortunately that's politics. And so I removed that rule. I removed the rule of no politics because I didn't want people to think that I wouldn't speak up for them. And like, I'm not transgender myself, but I didn't want people to think that I wouldn't speak up for them because it's political, you know? No, I'll definitely speak up for them. I want this to be like a safe, well, I do not ever think that Twitch is a safe space, and I've been very vocal about that. Twitch ain't safe, but like, I don't want it to come across as a space where I won't fight for transgender rights, and other ones as well, of course, not just trans people, but that is the topic right now. And all of those rights, when it comes to human rights, it's politics, and you can't really stand up for one group without it being political. And so I removed that rule. Yeah. So that I could actively be like, fuck J.K. Rowling. And also for other reasons as well. But yeah. I was like, disappear, welcome on, and I follow a bunch of celebs who are speaking out against her on Twitter. Like, quite literally, she is quoted in UK Parliament. Like, that's the influence she has. It's not just a random turf on the internet. And Rambo, welcome on in. You do join quite a heavy conversation, but I hope that you're doing well. And Kit, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well, but you're right. Stomp. Big stomp. Pretty sure Hogwarts and Harry Potter for what it is, an art from storytelling. Isacia, have you by any chance watched The Owl House? The Owl House is kind of like, I would say, listen, if you're looking for a witchy show, a show with witches and wizards in a dangerous world with a school that's trying to kill you half the time, check out The Owl House. The Owl House is like Hogwarts, but with inclusivity. It makes me think that person has so much power, and it's the same with politics here. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, it does affect it a lot more than people might think it does. Constantly know that folks who try to explain JK's turfism. The thing is, everyone knows JK Rowling's a turf. Literally, she knows. She's advertised for turf merchandise in the past. Like, she has like a whole line of turf merchandise. She was one of the clothing models for it at one point. Last Christmas, she was wishing people a Merry Turfmas. She knows. Like, trying to say that she's not a turf, there's no point. She's happily a turf. Oh dear. I will never understand why such bigotry has become so rampant over the past 7 years. The fact that big wigs like white people aren't live. Yeah, figure. Yeah. And they're just polluting the platform. This is the thing, is like, I don't want my whole channel to become political. At the end of the day, we are a sewing channel. I want to encourage people to start sewing. I want to encourage people to give crafting a go. That's my goal here. But at the same time, I can't ignore the fact that people might be about to have their rights stripped away in like the UK. That's where I live. I'm not just going to ignore that because it's political. Like, I feel like you have to, if you want people to feel safe in your space who are in those groups, you kind of have to stand up for them just a little bit. Oh dear. We purged our house. Yeah, we have received stuff over the years. I think if you want to buy Harry Potter stuff, buying it secondhand at this point is the best way, because then you're not directly supporting her. What I will say though is there will still be people that will see it and be like, ooh. But if you are gonna do it, buying from people who like either like independent artists who do fan art or secondhand. I think you just have to set a few boundaries when it comes to toxic debate or stream. You have to walk. Oh, true. Yeah, absolutely. Boundaries are very important. We've not, but thank you. Yeah, Owl House. If you enjoy Harry Potter and you enjoy the world of Harry Potter and you enjoy the way witches and wizards and all of that work and Hogwarts, check out the Owl House. The Owl House has positive representation. It is very much more in line with at least my political beliefs and hopefully a lot of people in chat. And you can support it without having to feel like you're supporting a turf. Plus, it's a new series. It means you have at least 2 seasons to already watch. I'm in the same boat, not trans, but would have friends and associates who are various stages and would not support anyone who is trying to stop someone. I've heard of Mermaid and the stuff they do. Yeah, it is. Mermaids is a fantastic charity. Again, I'm sure people outside of the UK don't know the work they're doing, but they are such a hard-working charity. Like, they work to support younger people through their transitions, through choosing the right route for them, because everyone's different and what people want to do is different, making sure that they have support wherever they're at with their family, with work, with all of that kind of stuff, making sure that they have a support system, because that's one of the things of, like, if you're going through such a big change in your life, you need a support system. Helping them with doctor's appointments, getting all that kind of stuff. And on top of that, fighting for literal rights around the UK and fighting to not be removed as a charity when people like J.K. Rowling speak up against them. They are constantly fighting. They are working really, really hard. They deserve a lot of love. Do crafts and don't support turfs. Exactly. And Jelly, welcome on in, fellow Jello. Oh, I don't have a... I'm sorry, Hal. This is actually for a prize we'll be giving away after next week, hopefully. So this will be a giveaway. Well, it'll be a prize because it's not anyone can win it. Only people that are participating in the competition next week can enter. I got way too upset and angered about the term that we tried to avoid the convo other than passing on don't support. Mermaids are awesome. Mermaids are so good. Yeah, it's very understandable. And I think setting boundaries, there are times where, like, there are things I'm very passionate about that I wait to talk about because, like, it hits a little too close to home and stuff like that. And there are definitely subjects that I try not to approach too often because it still hits close to home. And, like, having those kind of boundaries on your own stream, that's fine. That's good. And I should say, I removed the no politics. I'm not trying to make a statement on what everyone else should do on their streams, because at the end of the day, you have to do what's good for you. But I do think it's important to remember, and this was where I got basically humbled. It's important to remember that, like, things like trans rights are incredibly political. So if you're speaking up about trans rights, you are talking about politics on your channel. If you're speaking up, during Pride Month about the LGBT, that's political. You're talking about politics. If you're saying BLM, that's political. You're talking about politics. So, like, I think, again, when it comes to human rights, it is it's all political. So if you're talking about stuff like that, you're not a no politics stream. And that's kind of... I had no politics on my stream for, like, the full first year of me streaming. During that year, we supported Black Lives Matter, the LGBT... And we did Mind as well, I think was the last one. And it's like, they're all so political. And I sound silly in hindsight, but I didn't put the 2 and 2 together. And yeah. So I guess we've always been slightly political. Yeah. I don't want it to, yeah, I think especially on platforms, this was basically how it was described to me. On platforms like Twitch, if you don't make your stance known, people will join that have very different opinions to you, and because they don't feel threatened in your space. So if you hear Hogwarts Legacy and you say, I don't want to talk about that, you're not discouraging maybe some nasty people from joining your chat. And then later on, when you say something like, oh, I think trans lives matter, and half of your chat turn around and say, what? I don't think that. It's because you've kind of not made it clear that your stance is that you care. And by having no politics on stream, it kind of encourages bad actors to come in because they're like, well, I can get away with my views then, because they're not going to be challenged on this stream. My views won't be challenged here, so I can hang out here. And then when you do find something that you care about, those people won't agree with you, and you'll have made a whole chat that's dangerous to live in. I mean, we saw this quite recently with a very big streamer who I'm not going to call out. They've been called out enough at this point, and while I definitely disagree with what they've done, and I still don't particularly like them from what I've seen, I think they've been called out by people more better than me to speak on the subject. But basically, a very large streamer recently got called out for handling a situation about Hogwarts Legacy very badly, and in that they downplayed trans people's experiences, and they believe they timed them out from chat because they didn't align with her political views. And when what they found was that a lot of people who'd been in their channel for a long time, once they tried to approach this, had incredibly anti-transgender motivations. And these are not new chatters only. These are like VIPs, these people that have been there for years. And it turns out they're very anti-LGBT, right? And the reason that they found shelter in this person's stream for so long was because they refused to make a statement on how they felt, you know? They were like, I'm keeping my stream not political, so I'm not going to say trans lives matter, you know? And that made it feel like they had a safe space. And what you saw was these VIPs saying incredibly transphobic stuff, incredibly homophobic stuff half the time too, and getting away with it because it was a non-political stream. And it was only after they were called out by the rest of their community, like, this isn't okay, it makes it look like you're transphobic and you're homophobic, that they were like, oh, but I'm not though. And it's like, but your whole community is, because you never put your foot down on it. I think your community on Twitch is shaped by you. You get people with similar views, similar, I don't want to say that it becomes an echo chamber, but I think everyone's stream to an extent is an echo chamber. Which is why it's important to do other things outside of streaming. But I think everyone's stream is a bit of an echo chamber because you attract people with similar views to you. You know, you attract people, like I, for instance, completely different, but like when I'm making crafts like this, I'm probably more likely to attract people who also have an interest in crafts, right? You know, and it you know, that's just how it goes. You know, you're making crafts. I'm less likely to attract someone who's a drumming fanatic. Like, it's not that it can't happen, but like a drumming fanatic is more likely to go towards a stream where they're drumming, and someone who's more into crafting is more likely to find me. And it comes the same with like your viewpoints. If you actively stand against like J.K. Rowling and Hogwarts Legacy, you're more likely to attract people that have that same viewpoint. And then, so if you don't stand against it, you're more likely to attract transphobes, right? So the people that are being like, well, I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy anyway, you might yourself not consider yourself transphobic. You might consider yourself like, you know, I support trans lives matter, but I really want to play the game. But what you've done is created a space for transphobes to hide. That's why people are saying that your space is not safe. It's because the space you've created is safe for transphobic people. People who, and again, it's not just like a little bit of like, you know, arguments. It's people that genuinely believe these people should not be alive half the time. It's again very much a human rights matter, which is why it's important to set those kind of things. Otherwise, you create a community that maybe you don't like, that doesn't represent you anymore. Oh dear. Not that I can really get too much on a pedestal because I fucked it up for the first year as well. Not that the people that joined in the first year were bad, but like that I wasn't setting those boundaries correctly. And I got lucky. I got lucky that the people that joined were sweet. I do whatever I can for LGBT disabled rights, yeah. Oh dear. And again, as far as streaming goes, I think just like, a lot of the time, it doesn't really require you to do very much. It's just saying like, yeah, I believe that disabled people should have more access. Yeah, I believe that trans people should have the same rights as everyone else. It's just, that's all you ever need to do, I think. Like, you don't need like a big song and dance about it every single time. Just a little. Because that way, if anyone is in my chat right now, for instance, and they've heard me talk about how that I believe in transgender rights, they might have left. They might just leave because they're like, oh, this person doesn't agree with me. This isn't a space where I can vocalize my opinions. Damn right it's not. Get out. It's as easy as that. Also, Scorpius, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Oh dear. Online anyway. Yeah, this is the thing. I appreciate when people try and not make their streams echo chambers, but I always think your stream will be a bit of an echo chamber because that's how streaming works. You attract people that are similar to you. And that's why it's important to touch grass, as the kids say. I had an analogy about bars kicking out customers that were clearly showing fascist symbols and not kicking them out essentially says they're okay with having them in the bar. Exactly. It's exactly like that. Also, hi, tuned right into this conversation. You did, and thank you for the hydrate. I actually have some strawberry milk. I shall drink that. And Amazonia, welcome on in, thank you. She's getting more and more sparkly and I'm loving it. Oh dear. The day the oppression is stomped out and bigots become marginalized will be a good one, yeah. Sometimes just a little nod is fine. You don't. Yeah, this is the thing. You don't always have to turn your stream into a bait. I've just done a huge rant about it, but like that's not necessary. Just the little like, I believe that transgender people should have the same rights as everybody else. I support mermaids. You know, that's all you need to do, because people who don't agree will leave. Then they've gone. You got a problem with them? Got a problem with me? Hell yeah. A while ago, I heard some great news on the constitution of discrimination in a country. If they say yes, can no longer discriminate against trans or disabled people because it's said in the constitution. Oh, nice! No, I get it. Good. I'm glad. Good stuff. I remember the full content, but yeah, my place is a safe space. It's a fine and welcoming space. This is the thing I've consistently said, like, my space is not safe, but also I don't believe that any space on Twitch is a safe space, because unfortunately, Twitch has a lot of people lurking in the background who are just waiting for you to say your age, who are just waiting for you to say something they can use as personal information, just waiting to take advantage of you. So I never think of Twitch as a safe space, ever. Do not write anything personal that could be tracked back to you. Silly stories and stuff like that, sure, but like, you know, any doxing information, keep that to yourself. Like, it's not safe here. Strawberry milk, you got strawberry milk. This made me realize I have no politics in my rules in my stream. I should probably update it. Well, this is the thing, because you could set your own boundaries, you know? And you can set them while you're live. If people are coming in and like, they really want to discuss a certain politician and you're like, I really don't want to talk about that right now. You could just be like, guys, I really don't want to talk about that right now. But like, yeah, it just means that you're happy to stand up for people who are currently being discriminated against. Like, if you, I removed it from mine because yeah, it's like, you know, I do, again, it made no sense for me to have it. I was literally doing Black Lives Matter charity streams while having no politics in my rules. When I say I fucked up, I got very confused. But yeah, I had a couple streamers explain it to me and I was like, oh. Oh, I'm an idiot. Got it, thanks. I needed that. And I've removed it since then. Oh dear. Listen, you know, my heart's always in the right place, my brain just isn't always right there. Well, they can add them to the other things you can't discriminate against. Yeah, which is good. My Twitch rule says this is a landlord-free zone. Good. Oh my god, I have had some... everyone has landlord stories, I think, but damn. Sorry, I'm still hydrating. I realized how delicious the strawberry milk was and I needed to have a bit more. But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, I think I had an idea of what politics was in my head, and then, yep, that was stupid. Oh yeah, how are you feeling today, Amazonia? Are you feeling any better? I hope that it started to pass a little bit. It's been a few days now, right? I had to get out of breath and make breakfast, a smoothie, avocado toast. Oh, yeah, you know what? You're feeding your body the good stuff. Hopefully it gets better soon. Yes, let's smash our sewing tasks. Heck yeah. Oh dear. Oh, slightly better, still feel like trash. Oh god, it's so unlucky. 5 times, Jesus Christ. I don't think like even working in retail, I don't think I knew anyone who had COVID 5 times. Like, that's quite intense. Oh dear. Oh dear. So many times. So many times. Ah, there we go. Slowly but surely we add more and more beads. Wow. Oh dear, I'm not enjoying being unwell when I have 6? Oh my god! Oh, I didn't realize it was that many. Whoa! You know, fair enough. That's a lot of stress for anyone. 6. I'm glad you're popular though. I mean, I'm not really surprised that you're popular, but I'm glad that you're popular. Oh dear. I had a dream about TwitchCon last night. It was a nice dream. I enjoyed it. I was like imagining that like all the cosplayers had like booths in Artist Alley where we could show off bits of our cosplay, and then like we do that on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday I didn't get to the stage performance in my dream. I didn't get that far. But I mainly just dreamed about setting up my booth at TwitchCon with all my cosplay bits and bobs so people could come along and see them. But I had a lovely little dream. Oh dear. Due by the end of May, dress embroidery, same one as the one we're making for you. Yeah, I've been watching that one. And then episode 10 dress, strong armor, and an oh god. You're gonna be busy, but again, I'm really glad that you're very popular. And the high tower dress, dear lord. If Isa is saying that as well, you know it's intense, because Isa is like the queen of intense projects. They always have like 10 things going on at once. I used to be a cosplayer like that, but I can't do it anymore. My body doesn't keep up, man. 5 commissions, 2 outfits for me. Yeah. Oh god, so much. I'm still so excited to watch you start. Oh, actually, I was going to say Amazonia. I think the Twitch streamer Ottilie Tiffin is planning on entering Larger Than Life 2024 as well. Just, you have your first competition. The first, there's probably others that I don't know about yet, but that's the first one I know who's also considering entering the same category. There you go. In case you're interested. Because they were originally going to enter this year, but I think they're kind of in the same position. I think they just have a few too many commissions and things going on, so they're going to delay a year. So it'll be, yeah, they're doing, is it Beleth? Belzeth? It's the transformation costume in the League of Legends short, where they're like a tall looking woman and then they're like a teethy monster. You'll have to apologize. You'll have to apologize. I have to apologize. I'm not super knowledgeable in League stuff. I've seen the short though. It's very cool. They start off as this intimidating lady and then they become this like massive winged creature. And they're surrounded by fish, which, you know, I appreciate. So yeah, there you go. If you need some competitiveness, there it is. Honestly, I think it's just really fun to know other people in your category so that you can like keep up to date with each other and see what each other are doing and be inspired by each other and stuff. I let them know that you were also considering entering 2024 the Larger Than Life, so they already know. It's like, yeah, there you go. Yes, because what I lack is yeah, I was really thinking you could use some more competitive spirit. Oh dear. Oh, true, yeah. I just don't think that you've been competitive enough, Amazonia. So like, I thought I'd do that just to, you know, add some competitiveness to it. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know, I think it's just fun, innit? It's fun. I liked knowing who was, that was the problem with me though. I didn't know who was in my category when I was making it because I was obviously going to enter the sewing category, so I was getting like mock competitive of like Diane and stuff. And obviously that's not how it worked out, so then I was like, oh wait, no, I'm in this category. The next time I want to make sure that I stay in the category I enter in, and I think I've done a costume ready for that. They get really nervous on how good they are too. I mean, yeah, but doesn't that kind of like push you to try extra hard? When the people in your category are working really hard, I feel like it pushes you to also match that energy. Oh dear, I love seeing, and yeah, I love seeing what they're making. It's fun. True. Also, Create, thank you for the work and luck. Another person who is entering TwitchCon 2023 this year. Oh dear, I think in the sewing category you said. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Exactly, it really does. Helps me work out what techniques I'm lacking. Yeah, like when you're seeing other people. Because I'd say I was inspired, even though I'd already kind of done a lot of the costume by the time that I was looking at your details, but by your Sansa costume, like, and that's definitely inspired me then going into this next costume to focus more on the hand skills, because like I did it last time, but I kind of used a limited range of hand sewing skills, whereas obviously you do collages where there's a lot going on in one small space. That definitely inspired me for the next one. I don't think our costumes are ever going to look particularly alike because I'm very kitschy. And like, I can't imagine you doing anything like that. But yeah, it's still like the techniques inspired me and the collages of techniques inspired me. Even if I end up using like gemstones and stupid bright things. Oh dear. I really want to enter in it this year. I'm really hoping they announce the goddamn rules soon. It just feels unfair when people booking hotels. Like, give us the dates at least. Oh dear. I do have, I have a stand. I just don't use it. So I actually have a wooden stand. I'm not gonna bring it over because it's a bit big for the way that my camera is set up right now. But I do own one. It's like one of those things where like, I have one. I just don't use it. I'm just pretty bad at using it. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. Oh dear. The reason why I'm gonna try and make the resin to do everything new but also cultivate my cosplay even more pretty. Heck yeah! Thank you. Oh no, you're fine. You need to run and get some soap supplies. Oh, have fun. Oh, it's just Black Friday, is it? Okay. Well, I hope they maybe have like an interesting sale or something, so that's something interesting you can look up. Also, Epi, welcome on in. I will drink some more strawberry milk. Thank you. Delicious, delicious strawberry milk. Also, you have to use both hands. But the thing is, so here's the problem that I have, and maybe I'm making a problem in my head that doesn't really exist. I use my hands to feel out where I need to go next because my eyesight's not very good. So, you know, even if I had it in a frame, I imagine I would still be using my other hand just to like double check that I'm putting things in the right place, because my eyesight is maybe not as good as I like to pretend that it is. Oh dear. But again, maybe that's a problem in my own head, but like, I find doing this very helpful. Oh dear. Jelly, I am good. Welcome on in, Epi. I hope you're doing good. We're making a prize for next year. Not next year, next week, not next year. Jesus Christ, that'd be a long way away. Next week, we're doing a charity stream and we're making a prize for that. Bink bonk, bink bonk, bink bonk, bonk. Oh dear, one day you'll convert me, sure. Well, to be fair, after this year, I'll have done like a whole year's worth of Botox therapy, so my eyesight might be a lot better by the end of this year, and then it'll be a lot easier to convert me. Honestly, I have the biggest fear that I'm gonna look back at my work and be like, ugh. It's so messy, it's so gross, because I can't see it. The biggest fear of regaining because my eyesight shouldn't be permanently damaged or anything like that. Oh dear. For your T-con, you need to use a frame for that stuff, seriously. What's T-con? Am I being steady? A whole year, yeah. Oh, do I want that one actually? That's one of the see-through ones, right? Oh, it's gone now. Wherever it was, it's gone now. There we go, that's a see-through one. Twitch, oh yeah, you need, I do have one, but listen, felt. What if, Amazonia, I had just put an order in for felt? so that I can pack everything on felt. What then? Oh dear. What if my order is going to come today? Probably. It's either come already or it's going to be here any minute now. So that I can piece all my embroideries on felt. I'm so sorry. I'm a disappointment. You got here just a little too late. I just ordered all my felt. Oh dear. I'm good, but trying to keep myself busy. Been painting models again and going for my snake collection. Oh hell yeah. Honestly, that sounds like a good way of starting the new year. That sounds pretty fun. Nothing wrong with felt. I love using it as an embroidery base. Right, so when I use felt as an embroidery base, you're gonna get mad. I have a plan, see, I have a plan. I'm not going in planless, I promise. I do have a plan, I think I'm gonna use a lot of felt in this costume, honestly. I want thick. I want it thick. I want everything thick. Yeah, like, but I will see, because I know once I smock it that it already gets like kind of thick because of all of the stuff behind it. I did do some more samples, but I'm not sure where I put them. I swear I've been practicing. Oh, I have a lot of felt. Yeah, I like, this is really flimsy felt, I will say. Like, the one that I backed this on is felt that I had anyway. The felt that I've been buying, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the difference in it, but like, this is a lot stiffer than this one, because this one's like floppy, and this one's like, it feels almost more like I don't know what you'd say, like a card. It's very much thicker. That's what I've been ordering. I've been ordering the thick stuff because it's a lot easier to sew into. And it doesn't do all the wobblies like this and like stretch out and stuff. So yeah, I have been ordering thicker felt. This was just because I used so many different colors that I kind of just used what I had at the time. Plus you won't see the pink background anyway, so it's okay. Oh, Jelly with a plan. Yeah, I got a plan. Oh dear. Also, Al, oh wait, Al, have you changed your name a little bit? Was the L always capitalized? Welcome on in though, I hope you're doing well. If you have changed it, you look great. There we go. Yeah, we're slowly but surely still building up this beast. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. She's getting very, very sparkly. Her jacket is pretty close to being done because it's just the bottom bit after this panel that needs to be done. And like half of that is already filled in with purple anyway. So like, I'm pretty happy. It's getting there. Oh dear. There we go. Yeah, my hope is at the moment that by TwitchCon, because TwitchCon's like a year and a half away and I'm going to be starting Botox pretty damn soon. By TwitchCon, I might not be disabled anymore. That's the hope. That's the hope. If everything goes well and this treatment works really well for me, then I might not be quite so limited after TwitchCon on like the stuff that I can do. I don't want to get people's hopes up too much because obviously it doesn't work for everyone, and you know there is a chance it won't work for me either. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that you know by the time that we hit TwitchCon, that I might actually be doing a lot better. Yes. No one says my name right, so change it. Oh, okay. No, absolutely fair enough. Looks great. Oh dear. How goes the needle lace practice? We have the first practice square. I want to experiment a little bit with embroidery threads, but like just a couple of the threads at a time. I'll need to set it up again, but I don't know that I'll have time this week because obviously we're prepping for big charity stream next week. But yeah, it's background planning on that at the moment, of like trying to work out which way I want it to look and how thick I want it, because like it's a mixture of like practicality and aesthetics really, of like which one looks good but also isn't going to take me 10 years to make. Oh dear, I recently found out that SoulCal 6 has, oh, DLC. Yes! Oh my god. Perfect. Heck yeah. I love being able to get lots of good references. Excuse me. God, sounds great. Yeah, I'm really, really hopeful. Again, it might not, and I don't want to get people's hopes up too much just in case it doesn't, but the hope is, yeah, by TwitchCon, because at the moment my vision limits a lot of what I do as far as like the materials I use and stuff, because like not really safe to use a lot of stuff if you can't see properly. So it'd be nice if that chilled out just a little bit so that I could go back and try some stuff again, because I was just getting into foam armor when it happened. You know what, I would like to try it again at some point. It'd be a nice thing to experiment with on stream as well. But we'll see. I am quietly optimistic. Oh dear. Yeah, Creates is going to be entering that one into this year's TwitchCon. So hopefully we'll see it on stage. I think it'd be really cool. I feel like I go for the migraine approach and I cannot catch a break. I'm continuously ejecting from this migraine. Oh, bless you. Unfortunately, I don't, despite being a verified expert, I don't really have a lot to suggest other than like, listen, as much as we love having you here, if you need to get away from the screen, go. Do everything you can. Oh dear, I won't be offended, not at all. I was like that with COVID, to be fair. I had a migraine nearly every single day I had COVID. And like it non-stop. And even since having COVID, it's been a lot worse. Wow. There we go. Nasty sickness synergy is what it is. Mine's just the visual one's annoying. Oh yeah. Welcome to the blind squad. Oh dear. Yeah, it makes it very difficult to do a lot of cosplay stuff. When, for me, there's a few different ones I get. The one where like, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like there are black spots pinging in and pinging out of my vision constantly. That one's not too bad because it's very distracting, but I can still see. It's the one where it looks like there's tears in my eyes, but like I can never blink them out. That one, that's the one that I get most often, and that's the one I can't really do very much with because I can see, but it's like everything's underwater. And that's my normal one. Guess who does? Oh, you were? Hell yeah! Did you get a new PB? New personal best? You setting world records over there? Congratulations, Anime. I'm glad you managed to get it done. Set that in there, and then I'm gonna tie this off because needle long, and then we just have the bit at the bottom to do. It's looking really good. She's getting very, very sparkly. Look at that! No filter needed. Just ultimate sparkle. There we go. Also, the stitches on the back. It's kind of horrifying. I can see where her eyes are, which is really creepy. There we go. I'm gonna have another sip of my strawberry milk. And then we'll tackle that bottom bit. There I go, off into the distance to drink my strawberry milk. Oh, it's so good. Honestly, every time I get a sip of it, I'm like, damn, I want to drink all of it right now. It's so nice. I don't get strawberry milk very often because I'm lactose intolerant. It means I have to take the lactose pills and I just can't be arsed most of the time, honestly. But for a special treat, I love it. I love strawberry milk. It is my go-to milk flavor. We got like a really nice one. This one's like, it's called like, the flavor is like strawberries and cream. And so it's like kind of a thicker milk. And it's just really good. It's just really, really good. There we go. I think they do a chocolate one as well, but I must say, not so much of a fan of chocolate milk as I am strawberry milk. I would take chocolate milk, but like, if I don't know, if I'm treating myself, it's gotta be strawberry. This means auto presentation. I can do some crafts. Hell yeah. Very heckin' exciting. Very heckin' exciting. Oh wait, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Sorry. Apologies. I'm back. My veins are flowing with chocolate milk. See, if it's a really good, like, maybe I'm just a snob. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I've had some really nice chocolate milk and it's ruined all other chocolate milk for me. So now, like, whenever I have, like, the powder style chocolate milk, I'm like, I had something really nice once and I'm going to remember it now. Star, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. And so, no, you're fine. Please don't apologize. It's nice to see you regardless of when you pop in. I hope you're doing good. We've been adding all of the beads to the jacket and look how sparkly she is. She's getting so sparkly. Specifically chocolate milk with, oh, okay. I wouldn't pass that up, to be fair. That sounds pretty good. Oh dear. I have to go now. Al, take care of yourself. Thank you so much for popping by. But yeah, good luck with the rest of your day. I hope that it goes well. Hope work is good. She's very sparkly. Yeah. She looks all crystally. I love it. Beads make everything 10 out of 10. I'm very lucky I was able to make 30 more wefts. You were. Like I had just a little bit of yarn left. Hell yeah. Oh my god, this is your day, Anime. Your day. Everything is going good. Heck yeah. My cat is pestering me for pets and attention. And I give her and then she bites your face. What do you want? Aww. Give them pets from me. I would also like to pet your cat. Please pet your cat for me. For I am not there and I cannot give them pets. Oh dear. Jelly pets. That is one thing about being inside most of the time. I really miss petting animals. Because, like, I used to go on walks around certain times of the day just so I could see dog walkers. Oh god, that sounds so sad now I said it out loud. I used to go out, like, kind of early in the day just so I'd be going on a walk at the same time as all the dog walkers so that I might get to pet a dog. Oh dear. You know, it was one of those things where before I said it, I was like, yeah, this doesn't sound too bad. And then I said it out loud, I'm like, oh, that sounds a little bit sad, huh? Super early walks are the best. Yeah, it's nice because, like, it's a bit quieter. And, like, I like doing it as the sun rises and you get, like, the warm glow kind of on you. It's nice, especially when it's a bit colder in the winter. I like that. I'm a fan of that. I don't think I'm applying to be a dog walker, my local dog, so just to spend time with the doggos. You need no other reason than that. That is the best reason. Like, yeah, I want to spend time with the doggos. Watching the sky change colour is the best too, yeah. It's like one of the nice things about waking up early. I wouldn't say that I'm not a morning person, but I'm like not the most morningest of morning people. But yeah, it does make being up early like a bit more worth it. No pets with the kitty. She just purred and tried to bite me. Oh. I think she wants to play. I think that's what that sounds like. I think maybe she doesn't want pets. Maybe she wants to chase something around the room a little bit. I think she wants to chase. She's ready to go on the attack. Chase things around the room. Oh, dear. There we go. Oh, yeah, I love animals. I love cats and I love dogs, I should say. Like, I think for us, I would prefer to get a dog because, like, I am a very walky kind of person. I like walking, I like activity. I think I would personally prefer to get a dog, but I love cats as well. And I will not pass up the opportunity to pet a cat. I love them also. I've been very lucky to, like, pet sit some of my friends in the past. Not so much anymore, unfortunately. It's a little bit more difficult for me to get out, but, like, when I have, I've enjoyed it so much. They're like, oh yeah, you don't need to be there the whole time. And it's like, what do you mean I don't need to be there the whole time? Like, they'll always tell me, like, you know, if you need to go out or go to work or stay home or whatever, like, they just need someone around them, like, in the morning and the evening. And I was like, no, I'm staying in your house. I'm staying with the cat. The cat is sleeping on me. Like, that's how it's going. Every single time. I get to spend 24 hours with a cat? Like, I'm not passing that up. Are you kidding me? I'll take my work with me. You can go for walkies with cats too. True. You can. I think it depends on the cat though, right? Some cats are very funny about that kind of thing. Been hairy like a mod. Oh, bless. I'm sure they really appreciate you. Even if they're a bit hissy today, I'm sure they still appreciate having someone there for them. Yeah. For foods and for cuddles sometimes. Go. I like cats and I like dogs. I like both. Honestly, animals are great. Aren't animals fantastic? One day, we will get a pupper. I doubt you'll see them on stream much though if we do, because they'd have to be pretty well trained to be around a lot of the equipment, I think. And so they might need to be a little bit older. She has a vet tomorrow and she's gonna see her actual. Wait, does she really like the vet? I feel like that's not a normal story. Don't animals normally hate the vet? Oh, aww. That's kind of cute. She's actually a fan of the vet. Sweet. Sweet bean. There we go. And yeah, have more of these. So I'm just kind of filling them in at the moment around the purple that I added off stream. Just like filling them in so it looks more like the purple's coming from the bottom. It's a bit of a weird ombre on the box art as well, but I don't know, I kind of like it, so I wanted to make sure that I included it. Originally I wasn't going to, but it really grew on me, and then I really wanted to include it. So here we are. The box art is growing on me, because yeah, she has like purple trousers, but it's almost like her jacket blends into her trousers at the bottom with the colours and stuff, so I mean, that's what I've done, since that's what it looks like, even if it is a little different. Go. let's put one of the diamondy kind of ones in there. I think she cuddles the vet and everything. I don't get cuddles at home. Aww. You know what though, that is one thing I do kind of like about animals, that they all develop very different personalities. You get some very, very cuddly cats, and there's some cats that don't like being held at all. I think as long as they're happy, everything's good. They're not stressed out and all of that kind of stuff. And you know what, if they're not stressed out at the vets, that's great. That's perfect. Probably means you have a good vet as well if the cat's not stressed out. She's an old lady though, she gets to see the get ready for arthritis. Little old lady cat. Aww. I'm glad she has someone looking after her then. To make sure that she goes to her vet appointments and everything. Yeah, honestly, it always makes me really sad to see animals who aren't getting... I mean, I think that's just a normal reaction, but animals that don't get the care and attention they need. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. Animals bring so much joy. They don't deserve that. Ah, dear. My cat is not the most cuddly fella, but lets me cuddle him sometimes because he loves me, and I am blessed. Yes. Oh, dear. Yeah, the cats I know, they're all actually relatively cuddly cats. They like people, so they're pretty good. They want cuddles a lot. The only time they don't really want cuddles is around food time, like when they're hungry, which honestly fair. I don't want cuddles when I'm hungry either, so understandable, can relate. Don't blame them at all for that. Other than that, they're pretty cuddly. Okay, now we need to go across to the other side and fill all that in as well. It's looking pretty good though. That dark bit at the bottom. Yeah, it's still sparkly though. Mine's pretty angry, honestly. Oh dear. She's an old lady cat, right? She's used to getting what she wants. As soon as she wants it. No dawdling. That being said, you said a minute ago she was purring, right? Even if she doesn't want cuddles, I think that probably means she's kind of happy. Oh dear. Sandman! I'm really sorry, man. I don't know what happens. History. Sandman has subscribed for 27 months, and they're the only person where it never shows up in the alerts. Bless you. Thank you so much for 27 months. It's very heckin' kind of you. I hope you're doing well. We're actually making a piece for a competition next week so that people can win this. I hope you're doing good. Her default facial expression, the one where she looks mad. A little grumpy lady. Aww. Aw, dear. Twitch is sorry against, like, I really don't know why, because you are, I obviously I don't mean anything against you personally, you are the only person where this affects, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. I think the reason that we think that it is to do with you having Boo Boo in your name, that it might think that you're like you're patronizing this streamer or something like that. Not that it comes across like that in any way, but to an AI, you know, like Boo Boo might maybe be considered, because basically the only reason it doesn't show up is if someone has like a hate word normally in their name, or like a word that is moderated out. Boo Boo is not moderated out of my stream as far as I'm aware, but I do have low tier moderation on. Oh, it says boob. You're right. It says boob. It's probably because you says boob in the middle of your name. It might be the word boob. Yeah. It's the boob. It's because you have boob in the middle of your name. Okay. Well, there you go. That's probably because of boob. like people can say boob in chat and stuff like that, but I think it's a bit more careful when it comes to so people don't basically take advantage of being shown on stream. Yeah. I'm crying. It says boob. It does. It says boob. It must be the boob. I'm sorry, Sandman. Yeah, well, we already know the AI has something against boobs. Like, that's been like that for ages. The titties. It's the titties. Unfortunately, Twitch just can't allow those titties. Oh, dear. I'm so sorry, Sandman. It probably is boob. Even though any normal person would probably not read that as boob, it probably is the boob. Oh, dear. Sandman titties. Maybe, I don't know if titties will work, but titties with D's might be okay. I don't know. But I also would not change your name just for this. You have a brand. I'd say it's fine. Obviously, unless it's being a consistent problem. Also, would it be Sandman titties? Ooh. if you were taking it, because I can only assume that's how Twitch is reading it. Reading a Sandman boob. Ooh. Which is a very funny name. I took the boo boo. Other people gave that name. Hell yeah. Good. Good on you. Take that, Twitch. Kitty has now had chased the kibble dry food around the room for a time. Hopefully she'll stop trying to bite me. Aww. Yeah. She just wants some fun. She bored. She bored, so she bite. Oh, God, I can't get a Sandman boob. Ooh. Oh, that's good. I like that. That's a good name. Oh. To be fair, that's not how I've ever read your name. I've never read it like that. It's only when we're trying to work out why Twitch won't say it. I think only an AI would read your name like that, which is the problem, to be fair. Nothing is as good as the time she screams at me until I go to work from bed. Home, because she wants to chill in the window, but she wants company. Aww, see, that's really cute. Boob reveal, yeah. If I hit like a certain amount of subscribers, I'll do a boob reveal, guys. It's not going to be very exciting, though. I mean, technically, my VTuber I've already done an accidental boob reveal, because in the art for Celeste, I wanted to do her a bit more artistic. So it's not that she's naked, she doesn't have any features, so she also doesn't have any clothes. But that does kind of mean, you know, boob reveal. Boob reveal right there. It's in the Discord, it's also on Twitter. But it's also not, like, particularly sexy, I would say. Well, maybe it's sexy to a specific kind of person. She's meant to look like she's made of slime. I mean, she is made of slime. My character's made of slime. There we go, get that in there. And I think I can fit one of these in here. Gonna have to get some more thread before the end as well. I really hoped I could do the rest of it on one piece of thread, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. I think so, it's looking good. It's looking good. Oh dear. Very textury. Which is good. That's how I like my artwork. Textury. Go. Oh, actually a little higher than that. Ooh, there you go. Good. Who didn't like boobs? Oh right. Guys who like dudes. I think anyone can appreciate a boob. You know? A good boob, appreciated. Even if some people aren't like attracted to it, I think you can still appreciate it, right? There we go. Right, I need to tie this off. This is I'm playing a dangerous game here. There we go. So I have plenty of blue thread, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. We've only got a little bit more to do though, and then the jacket's done. Oh, they're true. Exactly. Wow. Oh, Jesus. Luna, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the 16 months. Jesus Christ. Good job I just put my needle down, eh? I wasn't ready. I hope you're doing well though. Welcome on in. We are adding all of the beads. Also, I love the corset that you put in the Discord. Very heckin' pretty. Very heckin' pretty. Get a shower and go to bed. Take care. Get some good Z's. I hope your sleep is good tonight. Ah, dear. Yeah, no, it's really, really pretty. Very, very cool. Ooh. Right, just a teeny tiny little bit left to do, and then the whole jacket is bobbly. Took a while, but we got there. I mean, to be fair, it's a lot of beads being sewn in, and we are only sewing them in a couple at a time at most, so I guess I'm not really surprised it's taken this long. Oh wait, what's happening here? Oh, that's that's not good. Oh, no, thank you very much. No, it was really, really pretty. I was very impressed. Honestly, it's just very cute as well. Like, I can imagine just wearing that with the ribbons and everything. Like, yeah, I'd wear that. Probably have to get a bit more used to wearing corseted things, but like, I feel like you could turn it into a cute summer look. There we go. The fabric is thrifted? Hell yeah! That's really pretty. It all looks, even if it's thrifted, it all looks very purposeful. Go! Love good thrifted piece. Hell yeah. Wow, there we go. Yeah, I could wear that every day. Yeah, honestly, it's like the kind of thing where, especially coming into spring, it's like, I don't know, it suits a lot of spring colors. I mean, you could wear it every day anyway, to be fair, but I feel like it would look really pretty with like some summer get-up kind of thing. Like a long skirt and like maybe like one of those kind of like silky skirts, like go out a bit bigger, and then that, and then maybe like a little cardigan and a sun hat, like cute. There we go. Or you could wear it over the top of a summer dress. That'd be cute too. There we are. Okay. In there. Yeah, I would. Yeah. It's just like it's a good. It's not neutral, but like the colorway goes very well. I feel like it'd go well with a lot of things. Right, it's really cute. I like it. Ugh. Unfortunately, these days I am a pajamas person. I spend my entire life basically in pajamas. In the summer, I do dress up a little bit more because I feel like cold, you get more like summer dresses that suit the weather a little bit more. So I dress up a little bit more in the summer, but I'd say like 3/4 of the year, I am just in pajamas. I'm pajama lady now. Oh dear. There we are. And I will, hell yeah! Okay, let's get down there. God, so close to being done with this bit. I mean, I really like the beading though, so I'm a little bit sad that the beading's over nearly, but like, it would be nice to see it done. This has been my vision since the beginning, so it'd be nice to see the vision. Even if it means I'm done. I don't have to do this bit anymore. Go, and... What? There you go. There we are. Half my PJs because I need to do a presentation in 20. Hell yeah. That's the working from home look. Nailing it. Oh, damn. In my PJs as well. Hell yeah. Me too. PJ time. Well, there you go. I try doing more cottage or fairy core clothing. I really like cottage core. I know a lot of people it's not their favorite, but like because I wear more pastel-y colors anyway, I really like it. But I don't really commit to a particular style because I also don't really make or buy new clothes most of the time. I just kind of, if there's like cute at the charity shop, I pick it up, or if I'm like gifted something from family, then obviously, but like most of the time I just wear what I already have. Unless a lot of my clothing is breaking, I don't normally need more clothes. But I do like cottagecore. If I was going to like replace my wardrobe suddenly, I probably would with something like that. Excuse me, sorry, I could feel that I needed to hiccup there. There we go. I put clothes on today not because I had to go here, because I wanted to wash my pajamas. Very fair. Fair and understandable. Yeah, I'm in a good position with that because I do have a lot of pajamas. I often ask for pajamas when I'm not sure, like, because I'm always happy to receive more pajamas. That was a big one. Thank you for the hickey. I really needed to hiccup there. You would love the big mushroom hat. Yeah! I love a big mushroom hat. Me too. I have a big mushroom hat somewhere, but I don't know where it is. It was like one of the first things I made on stream, but it's probably packed away because it's quite big. I'll find it when I start unpacking all the sewing room stuff, I'm sure. I want a mushy hat. Yeah, make a mushy hat. They're very cute. They're very cute. Oh dear. Yeah. It was like one of the first things I made. It was the first thing I made, like, start to finish, I think, other than a shirt. Very fun to make. Very enjoyable. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Mushroom hat. And I need a little bead in here. And come on, give me a bead. Oh, that's 2. 1 bead. Go. And then maybe 2 here? Yeah, there you go. All right, let me tie that off. And then we can have a look. That should be the jacket done. Hell yeah. I'm gonna blink someone out here. They're not. What I would say, oh, wait, 2 seconds. They're not, but you could pop them in the Discord and then we can all look at them there if that's okay. I want a pink toadstool mushroom hat. I think I have a purple one, but I would also like a pink one. Honestly, would also like that. I want to make one too. Oh my god, we're all going to be wearing mushroom hats this year. It's going to be the new fashion. Hell yeah. This is what it looks like though. This is all the beads with it being darker at the bottom, being really, really bobbly and really, really sparkly. Like, look at her go. She's so sparkly. And it's nice. I mean, it's not super obvious on camera because you're only really seeing it from the front, but it's very 3D as well. So it looks like the jacket's like forward in the camera. Does that make sense? The perspective. Oh dear, no, I love it. I was really looking forward to making this jacket. It's like, I knew that I'd like it, so I was just waiting to do it, but I needed to do some of the bits around it first. The next thing would probably be to work on the legs and then the bottom piece, because obviously that's quite large as well. But yeah, it's a good start. She's looking very, very cute. I will, 2 seconds, pop into here. I want to see it. Yes! Oh my god. That is such a good mushroom as well. Actually, I love your skirt too. Wait. Okay, don't get me wrong. The hat, stunning. But the skirt part there with the, like, the ombre? Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, there's that hat. Hell yeah. Oh, I love it. With all the different trims and beads. And honestly, like the ribbons underneath as well. It's very heckin' cute. It's very cute. Oh. I love that skirt too. Sorry, like, but that ombre skirt though? Ooh. Oh dear. Right. I am going to again, I actually don't feel too bad right now, which is really nice, but I am going to end stream there just because I don't want to push it too hard. We'll hopefully be back tomorrow and I think the day after, so we have plenty of time to work away at this. Like, you know, we got time. I just don't want to push myself too much and get sick. So where are we going to go? Stick around because we're going to be raiding a very, very amazing crafty streamer who a few of you will already know, called Atomic. Atomic is entering TwitchCon 2023. I believe they are entering into the larger than life category. They are making an absolutely humongous costume. So I'm sure all of you will enjoy it. If you like cosplay, sewing and details, they made every feather over there for these wings. They are, she might show them, to be fair. They're kind of intense. Like, the amount of work they went into it was so intense. Love to have with the corset, they'd look really good together. No, thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate everyone popping by. I should say, if you would like to send some love to another streamer, there are some raid messages you can have, which are just a good way of like spamming and creating some hype when we pop by. Oh my god, B, thank you for popping by. I hope the rest of your day goes well. And thank you everyone for joining me. Tomorrow we're gonna work on, I think we might work a bit on here because I want to get the beading done. I've got like a red bead mix. Look at that, see, red beads. Red bead mix for the strawberry. I maybe want to get that done tomorrow and get all the beading out of the way. So that's kind of the plan going forward. But thank you everyone for joining. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna send you all over to Atomic now. Take care everyone. Bam 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 ba 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 bam. Bam bam bam.